This is Sonny Fox. I listen to Neil Rogers because I can hear the word asshole.
All right.
Anytime they see that we're lacking in the polls, they provide a headline that will lead you by the nose.
Who say, they said, he's the one to get. Now they have only one big dictator left. Don't worry about Sudan, we got him. Now we're all comfy and safe. We got him. He won't attack us no more. We got him. Praise Bush like Jesus. Who say 9/11 is what they got you to believe? Can't get any dumber than a one-party country. You believe what they say, like the gullible fool as they use the state for their corporate tool. Held the election on, we got 'em. Bush has got ending, we got 'em. Get down on your knees, we got 'em.
10:02 at 560 WQM. That Boca Brian is a freaking genius, you know it? You know, they always talk about the fine line between insanity and genius?
Yep.
He's it. Anyway, thanks, Boca. I got your CDs that he sent me. I got a thing from Amazon.com in the mail yesterday. I wondered, what the hell is this? I didn't order none of these. And there they were. One of the movies was Tucker, about the car.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then the other one was like Mother Tucker, about the guy with the bow tie. I don't remember what the other one was. It's in the other room somewhere. Thanks, Boca. I got him. That's for you. Anyway, we got Scott Jr. we're going to send out today. In fact, now that we found Sodom, the next project for the administration is going to be to find Scott Jr. in a QM van. I think they got a better chance of finding Osama than finding Scott Jr. Yes. Oh, big story at Neverland. And it's not the one that CNN is hawking right now either. It's in the New York Post, but we'll get to that momentarily. So, do we know where we're going to send him and when or not? I know that's a silly question.
I haven't heard yet.
Okay. Miguel's working on it. That's what I heard. Miguel's working on it. But seriously, crack open a champagne, because my prediction is, and I rarely make predictions on these ratings things, but if the diaries fell in the right hands, I think if we got a decent November. And keep in mind, the trend that's coming out today, every month we go through this. Folks, just be happy no matter what you do for a living. You don't have to get rated every freaking month. Every month. Not just every 3 months. Every month we go through this garbage. And we're dropping off a really bad August. How come Muff didn't remind me of that when she came in this morning?
She left
I guess
that
she
out.
had bigger fish to fry. Huh?
Left that out?
He left it out. And I said, put it back in. But at any rate, that's what Clarence said, put it back in. So at 1 o'clock we got the trends coming out, and I think that, cause it's all pre-Ferrall. It's all like through about the November 18. And what day did he get canned? Look on the calendar. It was on a Wednesday in November. I think what was a Wednesday? The 18th, 17th?
Josh is looking at the calendar, but he's looking at December. He hasn't flipped it yet.
Flip it, Josh. Well, how can he flip it? Didn't you turn November off already?
Yeah, we tore November off. How about that?
So like I said.
Wait, I get a calendar here.
Yeah. It's not really that big of a deal, but if you want to stall and kill some time, that's good with me.
Yeah, no.
Let's kill some time till the ratings come out at 1 o'clock.
Oh!
And then we'll see.
Since George has an OCD, he ripped November off this one, too.
Yeah.
So we
I would say it's about the 17, 18, something like that. So the point being is that Ferrall was with us during that whole period of time, and it looked like he was just taking off like gangbusters right about the time they fired his ass. And now we got the little dog in there, which is great. Everybody likes Joe, but of course it's the Sports Nerd Festival. Man, they are just foaming at the mouth. Dave Wannstedt blows, and Jay Fiedler sucks, and the Dolphins this, but I like one of the last guys that called her this morning. He says, every time I get upset about the Dolphins, I think, I just won a World Series. That's what he said. I just won a World Series. Not the Marlins won a World Series. He says, I won the World Series.
Does he own the team?
Which is even better than when Dan LeBastard said in 97 that the Cubans won the World Series. But I mean, this guy's even more like personal. He won it. So who the hell? Just send that Pudge packing, which they already did. We don't need him or anybody else because this guy won a World Series. I'm impressed. What do we have that under? What do I have? Is that under David Sampson? How the hell would you know?
We did it!
And what's the other one he said? We won? Did he say we won a World Series? I don't know where the hell it is. Anyway, let's take a look at yesterday's poll result. Which of these was the greatest act of hypocrisy? They had quite a shindig there, quite a song and a dance. In fact, what was she on last night? One of the shows, 60 Minutes 2? The daughter, Elsie Mae, and they asked her, and they showed some of the clips from Strom Thurmond, some of his really racist, grotesque, one of the debates with Hubert Humphrey. And I mean, just the nastiest, most hostile, racist, get in the back of the bus and drink from a separate water fountain kind of segregationist some bitch. And they asked her, well, why didn't you come forward during that period of time and, say something? Why didn't you come public and admonish him for his grotesque? Well, I didn't want to interfere in his life, and it's his, pretty lame. Pretty weak. But there's always going to be the apologist, no matter what the hell it is. Don't confuse the public with the facts, okay? Because in South Carolina, they liked old Strom. He was right up their alley. In fact, I guarantee you that if they could prop his body up on a goddamn coffin somewhere, they could run him again. How many votes we have yesterday? We had 1,200 and some odd, 1,278. Greatest act of hypocrisy, Rush Limbaugh, illegal pill popper, wins hands down, 421. Nobody can touch Rush. This crowd hates the old Rushmeister. Racist Strom Thurmond fathered illegitimate black daughter, 268. She wasn't really black, she was kind of like mocha. Coke boozehound George W. Bush lectures about morality, 241. Reverend Jesse Jackson fathers illegitimate child, the old love child, 146. Jim Baker rips off his followers, turns out to be a pervert, 89. Jimmy Swaggart sins with hookers, 53. Philandering Representative Henry Hyde lectures Clinton on morality, 52. I guess they don't remember Henry Hyde and that poor guy out in Weston whose wife Henry stole and lied about it and said he wasn't married. They don't remember that, do they?
No.
No, how soon they forget. Just like they probably don't even remember the goddamn butterfly ballot and Teresa Lepore in Palm Beach and the old Jews who voted for Pat Buchanan, probably most of whom are dead.
Huh?
And in last place, born again, the geezer, he got a few votes, he got 7, but he's small potatoes compared to these other guys. Born again, John the Beezer Van Beesbrook calls one of his players, his goalie, a nigger, and then got kicked out of the league. 7 out of 1,278. So Rush wins hands down your pants. Now I'll get you the Michael Jackson thing. Actually, the thing that our first poll deals with is John Hinckley. You really got to wonder, what's it all about? How can they possibly be letting this man go unsupervised, especially in 1999, after they decided this once before, and then 4 years ago, he started writing to Jodie Foster again. First of all, that should tell you right off the bat. Any guy that's obsessed with Jodie Foster, doesn't that tell you he's a little bit off?
Yes.
Like you'd expect maybe Scott Jr. He's the kind of guy you'd expect to have like a Jodie Foster blow-up doll somewhere, right? Oh, I'm telling you, he's exactly the kind of guy. I hope that QAM van doesn't cost him a lot of money, because he's the kind of guy that you just expect one of these days is just going to, be a suicide bomber in a QM van. You just know it. Right? He's going to go into some office building somewhere and lock himself in with, 2 AK-47s and just start just blowing everybody away. I'm telling you, that's Scott Jr. Am I right?
Probably this building.
He seems like the type. Well, that's one more good reason not to be there. Nice going, Neil.
Oh, God.
Thank you. Anyway. So we're going to send him out. Miguel, oh, that's right. I know where we're sending him. We're sending him right across the street where he can't get lost. That was my idea, my thinking. That we usually do pretty good in that hood because there's a lot of money in the neighborhood. A lot of people got some left over from their drug deals. So right over there by Chuck's on the subcenter at the corner of Ivesbury Road and 441. Look for the QM van. We'll be giving you TBA the time with our Best of Neil merchandise. And you can also drop off some toys for Joe and Mark's Toy Drive for the, what is it for?
The Joe DiMaggio's Children's Hospital.
The Joe DiMaggio's Children's Hospital. New and unwrapped toys alike. No stuffed animals, though, right?
Yeah.
And what was the rationale for that? We don't want stuffed animals? It's because Scott keeps
because some kids have allergies to what's in the stuffed animals.
Hey, listen, you'll take whatever we give you, okay, kids? Don't be choosy. Anyway, speaking of that, King of Pop, this is amazing. A New York Post exclusive this morning. The King of Pop is restarting himself, Jacko X. Michael Jackson last night became a member of the Nation of Islam, and sources told the Post this religious changeover comes along with a shakeup of his personal staff. See, I don't want to say they're going to make it into a racial thing. High-ranking members of the Nation of Islam have been working to bring Jackson into the Reverend Louis Farrakhan's flock And Jackson's conversion is well known now in the NOI, the Nation of Islam community. Exactly why Jackson converted wasn't clear to the Post sources. But Fox News' website reported yesterday that Jackson's brother Jermaine, who converted to Islam in 1989, has been seeking to win favor with his more famous sibling. In other words, he wants back on that gravy train, and has brought Farrakhan's chief of staff, Leonard F. Mohammed, into Jacko's inner circle as a bodyguard. That's just one of many changes underway in Jackson's inner circle, sources said. Word of Jackson's religious conversion comes as prosecutors prepare to formally file charges against him in a California child molestation case, and as authorities agreed to return Jackson's passport to him so he can travel to Great Britain this weekend for 2.5 weeks. He'll be back, won't he? Well, maybe.
No.
Jackson isn't expected to return until January 6th, lawyers said in court papers. They also agreed to put off his arraignment for 5 days till January 16. He's got doings in Britain. Maybe he and Prince Charles are getting together. Although there's talk that some in Jackson's camp ought to replace defense attorney Mark Garagos, that mustachioed asshole, the high-priced Hollywood attorney appeared in firm control yesterday and met privately in the afternoon with Santa Barbara County District Attorney Thomas Sneddon. Sneddon said he plans to file the charges personally this afternoon, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, at the courthouse in Santa Maria, California. The King of Pop has vigorously denied the molestation charges. L.A. County social awareness just goes on. We already know that. Santa Barbara County Sheriff Jim Thomas said he believes the alleged Santa Barbara County molestation took place after that L.A. County probe. See, that's going to be the thing they're going to be looking for, is the date, because the initial probe, if you pardon that expression, took place in February of this year, and they're going to say that, oh, well, guess what? All of these charges took place post that date. Post. Got it?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that we're all going to be sitting around with our Ben & Jerry's, fish food, coffee toffee crunch. You like the coffee toffee crunch? That's my new favorite.
Yeah, better than the stuff I had last night.
Oh, yeah, Beast had some stuff last night. He had some of that really good low-carb ice cream. You should have gone to Delights and gotten their Carbolite. I don't think that has any of that stuff in it. But Beast went to the supermarket and got some low-carb ice cream, and after he ate it, he thought, well, I better look at the ingredients. And the first ingredient is he dropped the container on the floor on the way to the magic room. Turned out to be sorbitol. Nice going, Beasto. So he's about 1.5 pounds lighter today. Hell of a way to do it. 12 minutes after 10 at 560 WQM. It's a big day, man. Get the cakes ready and the party favors and the balloons and all the other good stuff. Get Carlos from out front there. He can blow the balloons.
No.
Big news. Hal at Pontiac. He said he'd sure like to blow yours up.
No.
Hal at Pontiac GMC is now Auto City Pontiac GMC of Pinecrest. Expect the same great Neil deals and customer satisfaction you're accustomed to for about the 5,000 years when they were called Hal at Pontiac. And right now at Auto City of Pinecrest, it's an end-of-the-year clearance sale on all remaining 2003s in stock. Take advantage of 0% financing for up to 72 months or save up to $9,000 with rebates and incentives. I'll say it again. Save yourself up to $9,000 at Auto City Pontiac. Attention lease customers, ask Auto City of Pinecrest about their lease pull-ahead early termination program, and there's even more great Neil deals than ever at the brand new Auto City Pontiac GMC of Pinecrest. For a limited time, just sign and drive home your new GMC Sierra with absolutely, positively, no money down. It's the new Auto City Pontiac GMC of Pinecrest. Same great location, though, 13401 South Dixie Highway. That's US 1 across from the Falls. Open every day of your life, 7 days a week. If you want more info, call the Neil Deal hotline toll-free, 1-888-534-4211. That's 1-888-534-4211. All offers subject to credit approval. See the folks at Auto City for details. The brand new Auto City Pontiac GMC of Pinecrest. Low prices without the high pressure.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
A stench of cow manure hovers over this performance by the Dolphins.
Yes.
Oh!
You and I went to the bar, we drank some whiskey from the jar, we got drunk all over town, then I asked you to go down, you gulped it like a master, but soon there was disaster, the booze sure went down easy, now you're saying you're queasy, it felt good just like it should, but then it stunk cause you were drunk, you spilled your guts. Puking on my nuts. This drunken whore is really whack. I looked down to see her last snack had come right back. Puking on my sack. I thought I could get a decent Hummer, But dinner on my boner is a bummer. And now my lap is full of crap, 'cause my monster tickled your tonsils, filled your guts, puking on my nuts. I was hoping for a decent BJ, but now I am wearing Chinese buffet. All my moans were getting louder, now my laugh looks like clam chowder. Nasty slut, puking on my nuts. I should have held back my thrust. You lost your lunch, now my lust has turned to disgust. Oh! Puking on my nuts. Dumping all your lunch. Puking on my nuts.
All right.
10:19 at 560 WQM. Happy Chanukah. Merry Christmas. Jappy New Year. And all of those other religious things. Aren't they all about New Year, ain't? Yeah, it is, as a matter of fact, isn't it? Because the Jews got their own New Year and the Chinese got theirs. Everybody's got their own different thing. Anyway, we already got 40 votes on the new poll. Just astonishing and shocking to me. There is another category I would have put on there, but the Beast and Josh don't need the Secret Service knocking on the door of the studio today, so I won't put it on there.
Thanks.
Anyway, here's the poll, the first one. We got another one coming up later. What's your take on the decision to allow John Hinckley to have unsupervised trips? Only in America. Well, I'll read you the result so far because it's already on there. Nice going, Eric. Only in America, it's insane. 22. Why not? He's been declared fit. 10. He should have been executed. 7. That's what I voted. He should have been offed. And who's John Hinckley? 1 out of 40. Well, there's Chris Darden.
The one extra charge.
Nice job on OJ, by the way, Chris.
Give a minor. Perhaps the
hey,
allegation
Chris,
that
what do you think of Michael, huh? Michael Motorcycle. Chris.
Well, you know, that in and of itself, in terms of it being a charged offense, is minor. You know, that is contributing.
See, that's the problem, doing it with minors.
I don't give a shit anymore.
Okay, Chris, just calm down. So that's our first poll question today. Only in America, it's insane. Why not? He's been declared fit. He should have been executed. And who's John Hinckley? It's just amazing. The kind of crap that we turn loose out there in the streets. And just like the thing with Michael Jackson, they're going to file the formal charges for this afternoon, and they're going to say, oh, and we agreed to give you your passport back, and you go to Britain for 2.5 weeks, and we're sure you'll be back. Right. I can just envision another OJ again, can't you? Only this ain't going to be a Bronco chase up and down the Hershey Highway. It'll be more difficult than looking for a Scott Jr. in the middle of a haystack. A federal judge said yesterday that the man who shot President Reagan could make unsupervised visits with his parents away from the mental hospital where he's lived for more than 2 decades. A Justice Department official, speaking of course like everybody does on condition of anonymity, said U.S. District Judge Paul Friedman issued the order granting John Hinckley Jr.'s request. Hinckley, 48, has lived at St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Washington since he was acquitted in 1982 by reason of insanity in the shootings of Reagan, Presidential Press Secretary James Brady, and 2 law enforcement officers. Reagan was nearly killed and Brady was permanently disabled. Hinckley said he shot Reagan to impress actor Jodie Foster. During 5 days of hearings, psychiatrists testifying for Hinckley, the government in the hospital, said his mental health had improved to the point where he wouldn't be a threat to himself or others if he were to leave the hospital for visits with his parents. But government lawyers opposed the request, insisting that the would-be assassin was still dangerous and trying to deceive his doctors. Hospital officials have said there have been no problems with Hinckley on his supervised trips to such places as a bowling alley, the theater, and a shopping mall. The Secret Service watches Hinckley whenever he leaves the hospital grounds. The psychiatrist said allowing Hinckley to leave unsupervised was the next step in his recovery from his mental illness. Reagan's family and Brady's wife, Sarah Brady, have opposed Hinckley's request. Sarah Brady sent a letter to the judge. Reagan's children, Patty Davis and Ron Reagan Jr., made their opposition known in the media. In fact, Ronnie Jr. is he's dancing, tap dancing all over the place right now. He's so pissed off and fired up. Can't you just see him in his ballet tights again, Ron Reagan Jr.? And Nancy was pissed off and fired up, too. She said, just say no to John Hinckley Jr., and they didn't do it. They didn't just say no. Like anybody else, nobody else just says no because Nancy says so, but they won't do it. See, this business about this psychiatric stuff is all a bunch of bullcrap. You do realize that, don't you?
Why?
Because it is. How about Ted Bundy? Was he sane?
No.
No. How about Charles Manson? Is he sane?
No.
No. How about... So what's the difference? In other words, when somebody, this business of the insanity plea, just like they tried with this Lee Malvo, who, by the way, is going to get, he's going to get his. It's bullcrap. It's just an excuse. No, if we really cared about mental health in America, then we wouldn't execute anybody because nobody in their right mind can do the kinds of things. What about John Wayne Gacy? Was he sane? No. Of course not. Crazy person. How about, who did we just execute there in Oklahoma City? What the hell was his name? Come on.
Don't have any idea.
Who blew up the goddamn federal building in Oklahoma City that we executed not that long ago. Come on, let's go, Beast.
Oh, jeez.
Come on.
I can picture him, too.
You can do it. He used to play for the Rams, tight end. Used to be a center for the Maple Leafs.
I can't come up with it.
Oh, my. You can't come up with it. You see what kind of a radio station I'm on, folks?
Hey, I'm not the only one. Miguel's here with the
This is Miguel.
in his face,
Miguel,
too.
unless the name ends in Z or he once had a date with Fidel, Miguel ain't got no idea who the hell it is.
He's not happy I ratted him out.
He's not happy with what?
That
you ratted him out like it's a big surprise, like it's a big secret? That just because he looks good, that don't mean he's not a dodo bird? We know how bright he is. The
idiot. He's like tall, lanky, he's got brown hair. I can't picture.
Who, Miguel?
No,
well, must have
the
changed
guy
since
that
I
got
was there.
executed.
Right. Glasses?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll keep. We'll let you keep working on it.
All right, I'll work on that.
Was he sane?
No.
Did we fry him?
Yeah.
Yes.
How about the Unabomber?
Ted Kaczynski? Was he sane?
No.
No. So this business about, well, the insanity plea and our business is to rehabilitate him, that's bullcrap. That's not the way the justice system works at all.
By the way, something.
Yes?
Timothy McVeigh.
Tim McVeigh, very good. Now, who told you?
Yeah, he went out to the hallway.
Lies. I knew.
No, he didn't.
Oh, man.
He stuck his head out there.
Yeah.
Someone told
Tim
him.
McVeigh, and he didn't even speak Spanish. How do you like that? Chalk one up for Miguel. Now, speaking of crazy people, where are we sending Scott Jr.?
I think you just got the facts.
I just got the facts?
Oh,
Let me reach right back here, and here it is in my hand right now.
It doesn't say, though. It just has a big question mark. We have to decide.
We have to decide what?
Where we're going to send Lost in Space.
We already decided. I just got through announcing it only moments ago.
Oh, across the street. I thought you just asked.
Yeah. Cross the street to the corner of 441 and Ivesbury Road, right by Chuck Subs. Is Miguel already forgotten that? We discussed it before the show, asshole.
No. He didn't forget. It was my bad.
I see. From now to when's he going over there? I realize it'll take him like at least 30 seconds to get across the street and make that left turn.
From whenever he gets there to 2.
Well, that's not good enough. Let's not jerk the audience around. You can jerk Scott Jr. around. Believe me, that don't take much. But let's give them some idea when he's going to be there, so they don't come driving in from the hinterlands to pick up our merchandise and make a nice donation, and then find out that he's not there somewhere. Let's say 11 o'clock, okay?
He's not here yet, so we have to wait for Scott Jr. to get here.
Anyway, he'll be there sometime as soon as he finds his way to work, and he'll be there till 2 o'clock, right across from the prestigious QM Studios, right across from Kentucky Fried, over there at Chuck's Sub Center on the corner of 441 and Ivesbury Road. Go and get a sub and a bunch of stuff from Chuck's while you're waiting. He's a good guy. Later today, Josh Cordes will have the best of stuff with him at Tony Roma's 7 to 9 Ludlam US 1 in South Miami, right by the old WNWS Studios and that old beauty parlor where they started holding up the convenience store across the street every other night after the Mariel boat lift got in. Don't get me started on that again. And then tomorrow, boy, this'll kill the whole rest of the show. This promo page. We got 48,590, which means we're just $1,410 away from 50 grand for abandoned pet rescue. That's about half of what I hoped for. But you know something, the way things are going with charities this year and everybody's tight with the cash, we'll take it. And then of course whatever else comes after that, that's like the gravy train, right? It's like the frosting on the old cake. We got the cake yet to celebrate for the big rating party this afternoon?
No.
You ought to get some food in there. I don't want to be like force feeding, but I'm as fat as a pig. I got to admit, I just have ballooned up like a cow. I hate to say that, but it's true. And that's the beast. Working with the beast all week has inspired me to do it. Noon to 2 tomorrow, you got little George, who's on vacation, but still the yeoman that he is, because he needs the cash. He'll be working. Noon to 2, he'll be at Fort Lauderdale Harley on Federal, just south of Oakland Park Boulevard. Also, free food from Atlantic City Subs as well tomorrow, noon to 2 with George. On Fort Lauderdale Harley. And tonight, the Joe and Mark show, starting at 2 in the morning, is live from Cafe Iguana, and they'll be collecting toys all night long and throughout the day till 7 o'clock tomorrow night. New and unwrapped toys to benefit the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital. And because they begged and pleaded, we'll put them on the air for about 30 seconds tomorrow. How many seconds?
About 30, man.
And that'll be more than enough. 1028 at 560 WQM. Hey, it's the 25th anniversary sale going on right now at Brandy Shoes in Pompano Beach. You always save a ton of cash there and that's why they've been around so long. They give you unbeatable prices, the top brand names in the business to slap on your feet, friendly personal service to make sure you get a perfect fit every time. They got Rockports, Echoes, Mephisto, Timberland, Clark's, Florsheim, SAS, all the top names in the shoe business, and they got, as far as sizes are concerned, you couldn't beat them with a stick. They got men's size 6 to 15, women's 5 to 12, widths from the very narrow to the very wide, so no matter how big or small or strange or peculiar your foot is, they can slap something on it for a perfect fit. Brandy Shoes, they're still in that same great location, 1290 North Federal Highway, Pompano Beach, open Monday through Saturday, 9 till 9, and every Sunday, 10 to 5. And during their 25th anniversary sale, it's really a great time to buy Florsheims at Brandy's, because all this week at Brandy Shoes, save 25% off on all men's outstanding Florsheim styles. So stop into Brandy's this week for sure, or check them out on the web at brandyshoes.com.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560 QAM.
I want to bang you in the butt, honey.
Tim McVeigh, he's on trial for that fateful day. I am sure he's guilty as O.J. Do you believe in Tim McVeigh? Dave Koresh thought he'd stand up to the IRS. Janet Reno and the ATF. He took a beating in the press. Why'd he place that bomb and cause so much strife? Will he get the chair, or instead will he get life? Tim McVeigh, paranoid about the USA, heard a rumor that he might be gay, according to Mike Fortier. I hate the government just as much as most of you, but I'm not ignorant, though I have a low IQ. Militiamen, most of them are doing 8 to 10. They can't have their weapons in the pen. Will Tim McVeigh be joining them?
Yes.
And John Hinckley should have been sitting in Tim McVeigh's lap when he pulled the switch.
Yes.
Make no mistake about it. Lunatic. And well, let's give him some unsupervised trips. I mean, the bowling was okay, an occasional movie or two here and there. What's the most violent movie you can think of? How about Kill Bill? Maybe that was one of the movies they let John Hinckley out to watch, Kill Bill. Really sad. At any rate, he'll be out, and of course, there'll be some people watching, make no mistake about it. They can call it unsupervised all they want. They'll be watching, they'll be looking over his shoulder.
Scott Jr.'s here.
Scott Jr. is there, so send his ass across the street if he can find it. Give him a compass, a road map, and a search party, and see if he can find Chuck Subcenter right on the corner there across the street. Right kitty corner of where he's sitting right now.
Miguel told me to go to a Shell station.
Let me say it again. If you're not across the street by 10:45...
I'm using MapQuest. I should be there in time.
Excellent. Getting in the van first would be a good idea. Anyway, the QM van will be on the corner, Ivesbury Road and 441 from about 10:36 until 2 this afternoon with our Best of Neil merchandise. And also drop by your toys for Joe and Mark. Anyway, I see there's a pissing contest between Miss Fudge and Bill O'Reilly about who sold the most books and who's the biggest liar and who's compulsive and all this other crap. And O'Reilly says that, let's see, there's no other cure than to kill Matt Drudge, O'Reilly said in the Imus this morning. Oh, what a couple of, it's like a snit fit is what it is. And what caused all of this is because Bill O'Reilly, as usual, is a liar. Everybody knows that. Makes crap up. On NBC's Today Show Monday this week, he says, oh, we outsold Franken all over the place. We're running against Hillary for most copies of nonfiction books sold this year. Guess what? Just another lie from Bill O'Reilly. Guess what the top-selling nonfiction book of the year is? Going to make you want to die. The South Beach Diet.
My parents are on it.
One of the biggest frauds. It's just a cheap rip-off of the Atkins diet. It's the most stupid. I've got the book right in the other room. I bought it.
Yeah, my dad lost 9 pounds the first week.
Woo! Well, good for him. So, in other words, your whole family is fat.
My dad, he's big, but he's not fat. He's not like me. He's
Fat.
Not completely overweight. My
You
mom's
have
like
the fat family.
My mom lost 80 pounds when she was younger. She's now.
So in other words,
like a
she
whale.
also was fat. Fat runs in your family, and that's why they're force-feeding you and want to keep you fat, which is why you screwed us over on Balance for Life a whole bunch of times.
About 30, man.
Even though we were making you slim and trim.
yes,
Now, see, your problem is you're afraid to be thin. See, I'm not.
What do you mean afraid to be thin?
You're afraid to be thin.
What does that mean?
It means that you're afraid. You cling to your fat because you want to be this waddling little round, because you're afraid that you might actually be physically attractive. I know you got that hot date tonight.
I do.
But nothing's going to happen. She couldn't find it if she borrowed Scott Jr.'s search party. She couldn't find
That's
it.
not
You know
true.
that.
She said she's all about personality.
She said she could find it? No, she didn't say that.
Well, she hasn't tried to look for it yet. It's only the first
Yeah, well,
date.
believe me, trust me, she ain't going to find it with both hands. Anyway, South Beach Diet, and number 2, Purpose-Driven Life. That's another one of those stupid... Living History by Hillary Clinton, number 3, over a million copies. I have mine right here. I bought that. So I bought 2 of the top 3. In fact, let's see. 4, 5. I've bought 5 of the top 8 selling books this year. That's amazing, because I don't really buy a lot of books. I like to get them for free. Living History by Hillary. I've been reading from it on the air, a few words here and there, and that was enough. Ultimate Weight Solution by Fat Phil McGraw. Total phony, total fraud. Lies in the Lying Liars Who Tell Them. Al Franken's number 5. Far outselling Bill Riley. Franken's book, 674,000. O'Reilly, 430,000. That's number 6. Who's looking out for you? And way behind Hillary. Not even, just over half, in fact, less than half of what Hillary's has sold. And Dude, Where's My Country's number 8. Michael Moore, 365,000 copies. Anyway, the big story, before the big story, U.S. soldier killed in ambush in Iraq. An American soldier was killed in ambush in Baghdad yesterday. The first American combat-related casualty since Saddam Hussein was captured. A U.S. Central Command statement said the soldier from the 1st Armored Division was ambushed while on patrol in the Iraqi capital. Another soldier and an Iraqi interpreter were wounded. The big story of the day, 9/11 chairman says attack was preventable. Saw it on the CBS Evening News last night. You see it?
No.
For the first time, the chairman of an independent commission investigating the September 11th attacks is saying publicly that 9/11 could have and should have been prevented, reports CBS News correspondent Randall Pinkston. This is a very, very important part of history, and we've got to tell it right, said Thomas Kane. As you read the report, you're going to have a pretty clear idea of what wasn't done and what should have been done. He said this was not something that had to happen, meaning 9/11. Appointed by the Bush administration, Kane, a former Republican governor of New Jersey, is now pointing fingers inside the administration and laying blame. There are people that, if I was doing the job, would certainly not be in the position they were in at that time because they failed. They simply failed, Kane said. To find out who failed and why, the commission has navigated a political landmine, threatened a subpoena to gain access to President's top secret daily briefs. Those documents may shed light on one of the most controversial assertions of the Bush administration, that there never was any thought given to the idea that terrorists might fly an airplane into a building, which is even a bigger lie than the ones that Bill O'Reilly tells. I don't think anybody could have predicted they would try to use an airplane as a missile, a hijacked airplane as a missile, said National Security Advisor Condoleezza Rice on May 16, 2002. That lightweight bitch. Oh, you can't say that. It's Dr. Rice. She's a very distinguished lady. Dr. Rice. Like I said, that miserable lying bitch. How is it possible we have a national security advisor coming out and saying we had no idea they could use planes as weapons when we had FBI records from 1991 stating that this was a possibility, said Kristen Breitweiser, one of 4 New Jersey widows who lobbied Congress and the President to appoint the commission in the first place. The widows want to know why various government agencies didn't connect the dots before 9/11, such as warnings from FBI offices in Minnesota and Arizona about suspicious student pilots. If you were to tell me that 2 years after the murder of my husband we wouldn't have one question answered, I wouldn't have believed it, Breitweiser said. Kane admits the commission also has more questions than answers. Asked whether we should know at least if people sitting in the decision-making spots on that critical day are still in those positions, Kane said, yes, the answer is yes, and we will. Kane promises major revelations in public testimony starting next month from top officials in the FBI, CIA, Defense Department, National Security Agency, and maybe President Bush and former President Clinton. How do you like that? That's the story of the day. Make no mistake about it. So all of this other window dressing, all of the shadow boxing, all of this bullcrap, this bait and switch that they did from Osama to Saddam Hussein, this is all just a diversion. And it's working great, by the way. Everything they do works like magic, like a charm. Huge spike in the president's popularity. We'll get to that. Huge spike, way up there. Because the public, man, all you need to do is just show them those pictures over and over again. They're looking for the lice in the hair, and they got the tongue depressor in there. We got him, and that's it. Because the public reacts to caca. That's all. They're too busy with bullcrap. 134 votes on the poll. What's your take on the decision to allow John Hinckley to have unsupervised trips? Only in America, it's insane. 77. And you're right. He should have been executed. 26. And you're right. Why not? He's been declared fit. 23. And who's John Hinckley? 8. Who's Tim McVeigh? The Beast voted for that. You wouldn't know Tim McVeigh if he came in there right now and sat down on
I
your
would
lap.
know Tim McVeigh. I'm not
Would you?
as dumb as I look.
If they dropped his ashes on a plate in front of you, you'd probably put some ketchup on it and eat it.
Tasty.
At least it wouldn't make you crap like that ice cream.
Oh.
What kind was it? Is there a brand name?
It was called Carb Smart. I don't know the exact
Not so smart, I guess.
maker.
Huh?
No, yeah, it was.
They were smart because they peddled it to your fat ass, and you weren't so smart because you ate it.
It's
and
a
then
great diet, though. I mean, if you eat that stuff and then you lose like a pound a night.
It's bad. Do you have any idea what that does to your innards, man?
Can't be any worse than I've done to my innards.
Tears your guts out. No, I'm serious. Let me say it again. Do not, if you have sensitivity to those sugar alcohols, as they call them.
Yeah, it's got 3 grams of that sugar alcohol stuff in it.
Atkins Indulge. Now, do the ice cream at least taste good?
No, it tastes like a fake, you know.
See, that's not a big deal. But the Atkins Indulge bars are delicious. They taste like a cross between Snickers and O. Henry.
Right. I mean, I've had the Indulge peanut butter cups, and they're tasty, too.
But these are, forget about those. These are sensational. But, man, I had 4 of them. They're the size of your thumb. They're like the little tiny mini candy bars, you know, like you get in a bag of 1,000.
Right.
They're that size. So I had 4 of them. I figured this is a nice meal replacement. And then I look on the back of the box, and it says maltitol in big, gigantic, not really, in little tiny letters. They don't warn you. And I thought to myself, you know something? I hope Dr. Atkins has a bad fall. That's how pissed off I was. I mean, I had 2 hours of the most, I don't want to keep rehashing it, so to speak. 2 hours of the most moving experience in the history of my life. 1042 at 560 WQM. Let me tell you about a fabulous place to take your automobile. EF Tire and Auto Repair. You'll find them at 5083 North Federal Highway, just a mile and a half north of Sample Road in Pompano Beach. At EF Tire and Auto Repair, experience the difference that experience makes. All EF mechanics know their stuff, man. They're ASE certified technicians, current with all the latest technology, and most have been with the EF team for almost 20 years. In fact, the EF team has got over 200 combined years of experience, so like I said, they know what they're doing. Need an oil change right now? Stop by EF and ask them about their Neil Rogers $12.95 oil change special. You're hearing me right. For only $12.95, you get a complete oil change. The EF team only uses the best parts and top-of-the-line Castrol GTX motor oil. You couldn't even buy the parts for this amazingly unbeatable low price of only $12.95. EF Tire and Auto Repair, they're at 5083 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Call 954-426-9926. That's 954-426-9926. When you talk to our friends there, be sure and ask them about their 90-day same-as-cash, no-interest credit card, too. EF Tire and Auto Repair, nationally known as one of the most successful automotive repair facilities anywhere in the entire USA. And please don't forget, ask them about that $12.95 Neil Rogers oil change special at EF. Call 954-426-9926.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Oh, God.
Come and listen to my story about a man named Ted, a Harvard graduate, hearing voices in his head. And then one day he was feeling kind of weird. He moved to Montana and grew himself a beard. Crazy, that is. Psychopath, strange eyes. Well, the first thing you know, Ted begins to brood. Kinfolk said, Ted, that's a Unabomber, dude. Said California's where the trial's gonna be, so they loaded up the shack and moved it carefully. Exhibit A, jury pools, weird smells. His lawyer says that Ted's the craziest. If you don't believe it, just read his manifest. Ted says he did it 'cause he hates technology, and that's why he mailed all those people TNT. Mail call, letter bomb, duck and cover. Well, now it's time to say goodbye to Ted and his defense, and he would like to thank you folks for paying the expense. You're all invited back again to this locality to buy the first edition of his autobiography, soon to be a movie, HBO. Jerry Springer. Y'all tune in now, you hear?
All right.
You know what most psychiatrists need?
What?
A good psychiatrist.
True.
You see the movie Happiness?
No.
Anyway, it's 10:48. I'm not asking you any questions anymore, because unless it's about the Red Sox or the Bruins or the Hurricanes, you have no idea what the answer is.
Patriots.
Or the Patriots. There you go. Patriots, the AFC champion Patriots, they will be. Make no mistake about that, and probably the Super Bowl champions again. Wouldn't that? You see, one thing I've noticed, you have to be blind not to see it, is that it's not important for the Dolphin fans to win, because they realize that they haven't got a Chinaman's chance. It's important for the Patriots now. See, it used to be the Bills, and then, of course, it was the Jets far more than anybody else. But now it's the Patriots, because now the Patriot people are the Antichrists. So it's the jealousy factor. It's like all that crap all season long from Geldy and Moe. Oh, they've been very lucky all season long, and this isn't going to continue.
Absolutely.
And the Dolphins will go up there in Foxborough and kick their ass.
Absolutely.
And Jay Fiedler and I are going to be doing it after the game.
Absolutely.
And it didn't work out.
Maybe that's why Howard hates me.
Is that what it is, because of your Patriot leanings? I don't think so.
I wear my
I think
Patriots
he
hat
hates you
every
because you've told the truth about him. You're the one that spread all that poison. That's why he called you from his cell phone. I still can't get over that.
Yep.
That just blows me away.
You're the reason. He said I was the reason why the audience was turning on him.
Yeah,
I told them all.
Everything is always somebody else's fault. This is the sign of a real goofball, of a real, just a wacko. He's a sociopath. He is incapable of working in an environment with other people, of coexisting with. He just can't do it.
Yes.
He really has so. And of course, like I said, we're talking about shrinks anyway, and about crazy people.
Right,
I think he's
point.
a little bit like that. Maybe he's got his lid on too tight. Before the show, the Beast was telling me about Moe's hats that he's been wearing the last couple of weeks. I think he's losing it. I think since the Dolphins have lost it, I think he's losing it too. Goes with the territory. Got a loser written all over his forehead. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Everybody all across the world is talking about John Hinckley Jr., no relation to Joe Marsh Jr., and the fact that we're going to let him have unsupervised trips on a weekend to go visit the folks and, mosey around. Maybe check out how Jodie Foster's latest movie is doing. WQAM. Nice talking to you. That's our first call. Not a good omen, man. I noticed the lines were flashing frantically before. Did you see that? And then they stopped. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. What?
By the way, theoretically,
yes,
Scott Jr. should be at the place right now.
Great. Theoretically, he should be there across the street. And if not, so be it. WQAM, line 6. Always, you know what it is. QAM.
Yeah, how you doing?
Okay.
Speak to Neil.
Speaking.
Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Let me tell you something, Neil. We're going to go up there in the off-season when the Dolphin season is over. We're going to beat the Patriots behind big time.
Yeah.
Guarantee you right now. They don't have a chance against us.
When the season
Third
is
time
over.
around,
Uh-huh.
we're going to make them look silly up there. You watch.
Okay. Brilliant. There you go. That's another one of the Dolphins, man. Like that. I don't blame him. I can understand. You start losing it, you know. It's December. It's always the big game, and it's always the gagging, choking sound. Same old neurotic repetition. It's Jimmy and Danny and Danny and Jimmy, and now it's Dave and Jay and Brian and all of this other crap, you know. Same tired moaning and groaning and wailing. That guy that I called Joe and said, when I start thinking about that, and then I stop and think to myself, I just won the World Series. I'm surprised he didn't say, so aren't I blessed down here, you know? Aren't we blessed? See, when the quality of life is dependent upon the winning or losing of your sports teams in a given locale, that tells me about the people. It doesn't tell me anything about that area. It tells me about the people, about their whole concept of life and what it's all about. WQAM.
About the people. Gail.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Great. Did you hear anything about Don King buying a stadium in Palm Beach, or is that just a rumor I've been hearing?
That's an old story, man. That's an ancient story. Oh, jeez. My God, and George Washington just chopped down another cherry tree. Will you get with it?
He did?
Remember how many weeks ago we heard that story about Don King was inviting the Marlins to play in a stadium in West Palm Beach?
That's like months old. Not just
ancient
weeks,
story.
months old.
That's older than Don King's hair, okay? God. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm curious as to why George is a poopy.
WQAM, hello.
Sí, mojado eres un viejo cagaditoso y apetoso cochino.
WQAM, hello.
Hiya, Pally.
WQAM.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Who's this?
Who are you calling?
Can I talk to Neil Rogers?
WQBA, La Cubanísima. Buenos dias.
Buenas.
I beg your pardon?
Hello?
Yes, what can we do for you?
Can I talk to Neil Rogers?
Oh, no, you got that cozy over the phone. We don't talk to people over with a cozy over the phone. It's probably John Hinckley's boyfriend. 5670560, pound 560 on it. With the second poll is going to be about that 9/11 stuff. Saddam capture boosts Bush's ratings. This makes me want to barf. But it's so predictable, you know. Saddam Hussein's captures caused a sharp spike in President Bush's approval ratings, according to the results of a CNN USA Today Gallup poll released yesterday. The president also has got a lead of more than 20 percentage points over Democratic frontrunner Howard Dean. Among poll respondents interviewed Monday and Tuesday, 63% said they approved of Bush's job performance, 34% disapproved. The approval rating is as high since June, and a significant gain of a rating of 50% a month ago. 63%. By contrast, in a poll done Thursday to Saturday before news of Saddam's capture, the approval rating was 54% with 43 disapproving. How do you like that? Disgusting. And as far as Howard Dean is concerned, Bush leads Howard Dean 60% to 37% with 3% undecided. In polling directly before Saddam's capture was 52 to 44 for Bush. Now it's 60 to 37, a gigantic spike because they got Saddam, which has nothing to do with 9/11, nothing to do with making America safer, nothing to do with anything really except putting away one of our former buddies for a hell of a long time and maybe frying his ass, which would be fine with me, but has nothing to do with the price of peanuts or oil. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Let's get in a whole bunch of, like maybe 1,000 calls before 1 or 1:15, because once those ratings come in, you know how rating intensive we get, right?
Yes.
We get really heavy duty into that crap. WQAM.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Great.
Did you happen to catch any of the Panthers game last night?
About 2 minutes. That was more than enough.
Yeah, I heard that. I happened to catch the first period on the radio. There was a point in the game where they had to stop play. There was something on the ice.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was listening to
Was it Moe's hairpiece?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But they couldn't tell right away from where Jiggs and Randy were sitting. And Jiggs opens up a mouth and he says, "It's a roll of pennies, and Jeff Rimmer's on his way down to make sure they get to him."
Wow.
I thought that might be good.
10:56, and you wonder why we're not going to have a hockey team in South Florida anytime, right? Not going to be too much longer. I think this season will be it. 10:56 at 560 WQAM. If you ever tried some of those so-called diet drinks, man, they got that chalky taste, most of them. Make you want to puke your guts out. If you want something really bland, also look on the ingredients and see how much sugar they got, too. How much crap. Now there's a great tasting product that even the Beast likes and is drinking up all my freebies down there, too, as a matter of fact.
They're tasty.
It tastes great. It's sugar-free. It's Enterex Diabetic. The best. You can have all you like, okay? They'll send us over all we want. They're wonderful folks.
I know. I'm going to take a few cases home.
Be my guest. If it'll help you lose an ounce or two, I'm all for it. And it won't make you crap your brains out either. Enterex Diabetic is the best-tasting meal replacement drink ever made for people with diabetes and those looking for a reduced sugar intake like fat, round tubs of crap. Sweetened with Splenda brand sucralose, so there's no nasty aftertaste like you get with all those other drinks that are loaded with saccharin or aspartame. Enterex Diabetic's a complete balanced nutritional supplement that provides fiber and antioxidants, yet is low in saturated fat and cholesterol. Enterex Diabetic is also gluten and lactose free. An 8-ounce can provides 237 calories of deliciously healthy nutrition that's internationally recommended by doctors and dietitians all alike. Don't sacrifice proper nutrition when you're short on time. Try Enterex Diabetic once, and I guarantee you, I'll bet you Clarence's life on it, you'll never go back to whatever you used to drink before. The makers of Enterex Diabetic are so positive that you're going to love it. They're giving away free samples just for the axing. Go to EnterexDiabetic.com, ENTEREX Diabetic. It's all one word, EnterexDiabetic.com, or call them and tell them that Neil sent you for the free sample of the delicious one, Enterex Diabetic. Call 1-866-368-3739. That's 1-866-368-3739.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
It's Dave in Miami town at 560 WQAM.
With the passing of Paul Simon, 85-year-old Art Garfunkel is wasting no time in releasing his double CD set, Paul is Dead.
Why did you die? Yes, good I. Why the hell did you die?
My subscribe, why did you die? I want to discus right.
Excuse me.
What? Paul!
Yeah?
You're alive!
That was Senator Paul Simon, not me.
I should have known the rumors weren't true.
Yeah. And there's a new bench at the flea market. You want to go there and sit down?
What could be wrong with that? We'll take my marquee.
Good, let's go.
All right. And don't forget your bongos.
Oh, yeah.
What's not to like? They're probably at the festival flea market, don't you think? 11:01 at 560 WQM. Don't forget Scott Jr.'s in that QM van. He's there right now. I guarantee. I bet the beast life on it. He's over there now.
No.
Right on the corner.
No.
Of 441 and Ivesbury. He's not there now?
No, he is. Actually, the owner of Sub Center came out and gave $100 already.
Chuck, you're the best, Chuck. Love Chuck. Thank you. He's a great guy. Go in there and buy some. He got good food at Chuck's Sub Center while you're waiting out. In fact, maybe you want to feed Scott. I don't know what you feed him. What do you throw at something that looks like that? Scraps. Throw some table scraps at him.
Raw meat.
Oh, Gary Ridgway is expected to receive 48 life terms. The Green River Killer. Don't you think he's crazy?
Yes.
See, I mean, we don't care about that. The American justice system has never made exceptions for people who do aberrant things that, clearly would justify them as crazy. So we have all these psychiatric experts on the defense side, then on the prosecution side, and whichever psychiatrists make up enough good stories and convince the jury, then that's what we do. So that's what happened with John Hinckley. He shouldn't have gone to like a mental institution. He should have been executed. Damn near assassinated the president, destroyed James Brady's life forever. I don't know about the two cops. I don't know whatever happened to them. But I mean, this guy is a scumbag. And we're going to let him, we're rehabilitating him at taxpayer expense, and he's well on his way to recovery. So now the next step is to let him loose on a weekend to go home and visit Mommy and Daddy. Let him hang out, watch old Jodie Foster movies. Watch Silence of the Lambs, that ought to be really good. That ought to be inspirational, wouldn't you think?
Drink some Chianti.
That would be excellent, and maybe some fava beans. God almighty. Hey, there you go, Beast. There's a suggestion for a bottle of Chianti and a few fava beans would be good. Next time you get inspired for, get horny for ice cream instead.
Oh.
That'll change your ways. 205 votes on the poll. What's your take on the decision to allow John Hinckley to have unsupervised trips? Only in America, it's insane. 116 of you say that. Why not? He's been declared fit, 39. Fit to go, good to go. He should have been executed, 36. And who's John Hinckley? 14. 14 morons. 14 punks. I guess if you're not, what year did that happen? 82 or 3?
Right.
Wouldn't that be about right?
Yeah, but I was only 7 and I still have a clue.
Yeah. And how about when we had the Oklahoma City bombing with Tim McVeigh and Terry Nichols? How old were you then?
Like 20.
And you still have no clue. That's because you were too immersed in Hurricane sports. You and Mike Rosenthal and all the other Hurricane boosters over there at the U of M, all those overgrown little children who talk like this. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Hey, listen, let's face it, I'm going on vacation this weekend for like 11 days. I'm getting the hell out of the whole radio industry until the end of the year. And, we're just killing time till those ratings come out and going to fake our way through tomorrow, too. At least this is the one show we don't lie about it. We don't pretend we're going to sit here and change the world and that every day we're on the edge of our seats waiting for something really spectacular. It just ain't going to happen.
We're not.
Oh, Jose Padilla, what is this?
To any sort of
Remember
a lawyer.
Him?
He
Yeah.
has not been able to see any family, any friends since he was arrested.
Good. Federal court orders the release of Jose Padilla in about 30 days.
This went all the way to the appeals court
Good.
here in New York, the Second Circuit.
Another one of these fascist things your government is doing now with John Ashcroft and the other Nazis in charge. Just rounded people up based on some wild suspicion or maybe not even anything specific. And just,
Astonished that the government would be asking essentially for a complete rewriting of the law, which basically they were saying that immediately after 9/11, Congress passed an act giving the president powers to go after terrorists, and holding people in this way was one of those powers. But these judges have said, no, that's not the case. A lawyer for Jose Padilla said it is reassuring that constitutional protections that we are all entitled to as citizens were confirmed.
Oh, there you go. So at least we still have a little bit of the Constitution left, okay? And the public says, oh, we don't care about the Constitution. We just want to be safe. And now Bush got Saddam, so we're halfway there. Let's put Bush back in there again. I mean, just you're dealing with idiotic people. And Howard Dean comes out and tells the truth and says we're not any safer now than we were before Sunday when it captured Saddam. And he's right. And right away, he's supposed to apologize for that. And he's getting ripped to shreds for that by assholes like Jew Lieberman. I'm going to tell you, if there is an Antichrist, Jew Lieberman's it. I'm telling you that right now. He is it. And Wesley Clark says that Bush lacks the will to find bin Laden. He said if he'd have been the president, he would have had bin Laden's ass by now, and maybe the rest of them too. In a blistering critique of the commander in Chimp, Clark said that capturing Saddam Hussein doesn't change the fact that Osama bin Laden is still on the loose. He said the president has shown a lack of will in pursuing Osama Yamama. If I'd have been president, I would have had Osama bin Laden by this time, Clark said at a news conference in Concord, New Hampshire, where he was campaigning for votes in the first primary January 27, just over a month away. I would have followed through on the original sentiment that the president gave us Osama bin Laden dead or alive. Instead, he executed a bait and switch. He took the priority off Osama bin Laden. He shifted the spotlight onto Saddam Hussein. The retired Army four-star general also said that if Bush questions the patriotism and national security credentials of Democrats in the coming campaign, he wouldn't hesitate to match his record against the president's. I'll put my 34 years of defending the USA and the results that I and my teammates in the U.S. Armed Forces achieved against his 3 years of failed policies any day, said Clark, who was NATO's Supreme Commander during the 99 air campaign in Kosovo. He added, we've got a president who will go halfway around the world for a photo opportunity, but won't go halfway across town for a funeral for an American serviceman. I've been to those funerals. I've comforted families. I don't think you can make good policy at the top if you don't understand the impact at the bottom of your organization, he said. Excellent job. You go, Wes. And by the way, we got some really good pastrami sandwiches waiting for you, too, if you ever decide to come on. And if you show up tomorrow, we got potato pancakes and brisket from Corky's. Because the Beast called up Corky's and mentioned Hank's name a few times. Didn't mention my name.
I mentioned your name.
The hell you did.
I did.
And they said, Neil who?
No, they didn't. They said they knew you two, and they knew Hank.
Yeah,
they knew the
but
whole
they liked
station.
the load. They said, takes a load off our mind.
Oh, Howard had a new one today. I forget what it was.
Did he really? What was it?
It's
going to have to be really great to beat the Toad and the Load.
I'll have to go ask Robert. I don't remember which one it was.
I bet you I'm inspiring him now.
Without a doubt.
Hey, I have no shame. I'll admit it. I think it's about the only decent thing he's brought to the table in a year and a half. The Toad and the Load. I can't stop.
Absolutely.
WQAM.
I'm not sorry I took them.
WQAM, hello.
Fucker.
Dump old Gilbert. There you go again. Gilbert's back at it again. Gilbert Solomon. Round him up. I think once we find Osama Yamama, then we're going to put the search out for Gilbert Solomon. Strap his ass up. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. See what I mean about crazy people? There are millions of them running around on the loose. Most of them call this show. WQAM.
Hey,
QAM. Yes, sir.
How come your show sucks so much?
Suck this. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Nothing worse than a chubby fag running around a baseball game with a camera with a big lens and a cut-off T-shirt to show muscles he doesn't have. And I just don't understand why you let that guy represent you as your agent when he looks so ridiculous.
Are you talking about Norma again?
He is just a disgrace, and he looks like a pedophile and taking pictures of the baseball players.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, I'll tell you one thing, man. This is, see what I mean about South Florida? It's December the 18. It's a week away from Christmas Day. Tomorrow's the first night of Hanukkah. And the goodwill and the love and the compassion and you can feel it. Can't you smell it? Man, just a torrent of hate. Keep it coming, folks. I love it. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT. I feel sorry for Norma. That's the answer to your question, okay, schmuck? He probably got turned down by Norm, which is rare. WQAM.
I hope people die.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil?
Yes, sir. I like the way that guy cups his thing over the phone. Yes, sir.
How you doing? I've been wanting to call you for a couple of weeks.
I'll bet.
But listen, I wanted to mention something about back when the Reagan movie was, everyone was complaining of how much of a non-homophobic.
Sir, let me tell you something. You're so, there's another chronic. This guy is so boring. By the time he stammers it out, just go away, okay? Don't go away mad. Don't take it personal unless you want to, but just go away. I'd rather hear these other crazy people than you. You are such a stammering clown, man. You just bug me. You know that voice? I'm telling you, there's only like 20 or 30 callers on all the shows, not just on this show. All the shows, they just do different voices. Well, Jimbo, I'm going to tell you, this is the week that we're really going to do it. We're going to turn it around, and aren't we blessed to be here with a World Series champion, Jimbo? You know, it's all the same clowns. 5670560. Craig in Miami says, we missed an obvious suggestion for the poll yesterday. What about Catholic Church priests molesting little boys? Isn't that worthy of being on the list? No, because they're at least consistent when they say, oh, God, that's good. It's whatever the hell they say. Or when they admit that they like to alter boys. This business is going back to yesterday's poll, Craig. Yesterday's poll is done with, okay? It's time to move on to today's poll. Catch my drift? Now, who's this bimbo that you're going out with tonight?
Female.
Yeah. I don't want a name, but I mean, where did she come from? Is this somebody you met on the internet? Is that what I heard? Well, that's what I heard this morning from Joe. That you met some young lady on the internet. So in other words, you haven't met yet. Is that what you're saying?
No, we've talked on the phone.
You've talked on the phone. You haven't seen each other in the flesh?
Not yet.
So you didn't see the movie Happiness?
I did not see that.
For anybody who saw the movie Happiness, this young lady, if anybody remembers the gigantic neighbor that Paul Seymour Hoffman had, the big neighbor that he wound up laying on the bed and they were like faced in the opposite directions, I wish you lots of luck. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon Wireless line. The good thing is you got that brand new King Coral mattress. I bet your clearance is out of town for a couple of days. Who knows? The Beast might get lucky. We'll get a full blow-by-blow tomorrow right here on this show. Won't we?
No.
WQAM.
Where's George at?
Wait, do you want a date?
Huh? What's up, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Happy Kwanzaa.
And back to you. What can we do for you, sir? They've got an echo on his phone.
No, I was just calling to see if George is coming back. He is still on the show, isn't he?
No, he's done. He's finished.
Seriously?
WQAM, hello.
Neil,
Yes,
hello
sir.
there. Do I have Mr. Rogers' neighborhood?
Yes, you do.
Thank you. May I expose, first name only, one of your closet listeners?
Yeah.
He's a prominent land use attorney. When it comes to his clients, the price is always right. His name is Stanley.
Yeah.
And he heard me on your show last week. You have more professionals listening to you.
Yeah,
More,
professional lunatics is what we got.
yeah, those two, but you got high-end professionals than you would believe.
And we got rear-end professionals, too.
You got me also. Okay,
well, nothing's perfect, and have a great day. There's another guy, see what I'm saying? He's a celebrity now. We heard you on the radio. We heard you on the radio. Crank it up real loud, pal. Listen to the sound of your own voice. Oh, I should write a book on it. Seriously, everybody's always telling me I should write this book, that book. I should write a book on the psychology of talk show callers. You know what? It's a science. It's a very definite science. Do you think that most people you know anybody who calls, I'm talking about personal friends, acquaintances, family, who calls talk shows?
Maybe, I know someone that maybe called once in their life.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like regular talk show callers.
No. Oh, wait, yes, I do have a friend that calls every day.
That calls every day?
Yeah.
This show?
No.
Sports shows?
Yes.
He doesn't go to the University of Miami, does he? Or maybe he's a graduate?
No.
Not a Hurricane person?
Well, he likes the Canes, but he's not a Hurricane, affiliate.
Oh, well, if he likes the Canes, that says it all for me. 248 votes. What's your take on the decision to allow John Hinckley to have unsupervised trips? Only in America, it's insane. 136 say that, 54.8%. Why not? He's been declared fit. He's fit. Good to go. 47. He should have been executed, 47. That's what I voted, and I say that I second my emotion. And who's John Hinckley? 18. What's that schedule look like today, man? We got like a real patchwork deal this week. We got the Bowmeister, Kimba Bocampers at 2. I'm going to tell you what a giant mandich is. I'm serious about this. Like when I go on vacation, George fills in, right?
Yeah.
When Mo isn't there, it's Geldy, correct?
Right, sure.
But when Mad Dog isn't here, it takes a whole staff of people to fill those big shoes.
All right.
We had Boog for 2 days. We got Bo today. We got Curtis tomorrow. It takes like a whole goddamn team to fill that big jockstrap.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
In record stores now, it's the most repulsive Christmas album you'll ever hear. Ally McBeal purges all the Christmas favorites. Ally McBeal purges all the Christmas favorites. Listen to it while eating fruitcake.
All right.
11:18 at 560 WQM. Happy holidays to you. We're getting all the festive people in that holiday spirit calling in so far today. This is good, isn't it?
Sure.
Does that make you feel like it's a really special time of the year in South Florida? 5670560. Keep them coming. Pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon Wireless line. WQAM.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Calling from Miami.
Go right ahead.
Oh, Neil?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I think Drew Lieberman works for George Bush.
Do you? He could. Might as well.
He's got to be. He's got to be a secret plant Republican.
He's on the hatchet team to destroy Howard Dean, I'll tell you that.
He must be one of those Illuminati body boys.
Or maybe the Bilderberger.
Exactly. Blood clot Jewish boy.
Have a great holiday, Pally.
All right.
What do you say? 5670560, pound 560. We don't like Jew Lieberman on this show, I'll tell you that right now. So all you old Jews in Palm Beach that voted for Buchanan last time around, Coxlachois. Why are we listening to the Marvelettes and Please Mr. Postman? What was that?
What was what?
What was Please Mr. Postman? What did I do? What was that? Where'd that come from?
I don't know. I didn't hear it.
Hello, world. You know, as the week goes on, I'm having this feeling of, like, disconnect. It's a damn good thing there's no ratings going on this week. I just got through here in, like, the beginning of Please Mr. Postman by the Marvelettes. What was that? Who played it? Where did it come from?
I don't know. I didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it?
No.
Okay, I just must have made it up. WQAM, hello. Can't hear you, Pally. Get yourself have somebody give you a phone for the holidays, man. Sounds like you're underwater.
By the way.
WQAM, hello. QAM.
Hey, North Miami Beach.
Let's go to North Miami Beach. Hello.
Yeah, Neil, explain to me how Bush is not held for treason for giving up a CIA agent's identity.
Yeah.
And why, if that were to happen to Clinton, can you imagine it would be on the front page every day?
Yeah, they'd have been holding another impeachment hearing against Clinton. That's correct.
You know, I mean, it's amazing how the media controls us all about what is decided to be on the front page news and on the first 5 minutes of national news.
Right.
That gives politicization legs. And
there ought to be impeachment hearings going on against this president right now, and instead his popularity is going through the roof. That tells you what America's all about.
Well, it shows that the media is not it's not a liberal media. It's really controlled by conservatives.
It's not a responsible media, sir. It's a media that's owned lock, stock, and barrel by the far right. Make no mistake about it. 5-6. Now, did anybody? Where's the beast? Is he there?
I got it. That was my fault.
But why would you pretend that it isn't there? What is your story this week? What is the deal with you? I handpicked you. I had 1,000 candidates to sit in here and fill George's shoes this week. I said, put the beast in there, okay? He's gung-ho. He wants to come in there and show his fat ass to the world, and you're doing it, man.
Wait a minute. I wasn't in here. That was Josh that said he didn't hear it.
Yeah.
I was in the other...
You weren't in there. Well, how the hell did that happen? Was it like spontaneous combustion? Did it just come out of your ass? Are the Marvelettes up your ass? Where did that come from?
I was in the other studio attempting to dub something into the vault.
Why is that?
Because I found something that would be of interest, so I was trying
to... The Marvelettes and Please Mr. Postman is of interest?
That wasn't what I was looking for.
What were you looking for besides food? Why don't you be honest with the audience, okay? You're out there, there's probably food on that table out there by Clarence's desk. You're probably out there scrounging for leftovers. Why don't you admit it?
No, that wasn't it.
What were you looking for?
I was looking for what Howard said this morning about what he called you to.
Look, I see for the, like I said, good job, Beast.
And I didn't realize that because I took that studio offline.
Yeah.
Figuring, and it didn't go over the air, but I guess the wiring that goes up to you, like you heard it even though you weren't supposed to. Yeah.
That's why Josh didn't hear it, nobody else did too. And everybody said, that Neil, he's losing it, man. The old man is losing it. He's hearing Marvelettes in his earpiece.
So in the next break, I'll go into a different production studio and put it in.
Yeah, he'll put it in all right. You're already sticking it about halfway in.
Clarence isn't here, so we don't have to worry
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. This is so sad. And on a day when we got those big numbers coming out in the 1 o'clock hour, it's going to be big. I can smell it. Now, everybody who's turned the station off since Ferrall left, call in. Everybody who is not listening, call in. 56705. Let me ask you this. How much do you think the impact is going to be? We won't see it today because this is a Ferrall book.
But the next book?
The next month. Which is going to be the entire fall book. In other words, it's going to put the fall in the fall book is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Wow. I think you could be right. Because we saw this phenomenal drop-off, spectacular on the number of hits on our website every day, almost immediately. The weekend, starting that weekend after Ferrall got canned, it's like about 30 or 40%. What percent?
About 30, man.
Even more than that, the audience just vamoosed, just in disgust.
Because
see, you're driving the audience away, Greg, okay? See, people, I hate to break the news to Greg Reed and anybody else who's in charge over there, but people are creatures of familiarity. They like that comfort of knowing when they turn on the TV or the radio who's going to be there at a certain time. And even with this show for a year and a half, going 9 to 1 and doing this and doing that and following this one and following that one, it's like musical chairs, man. It's like a revolving door at QAM. It's like our sales department. Revolving door. Not good. WQAM.
Yeah, for Neil, please.
Speaking.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I miss your buddy Ferrall. I thought he was one of the best things that come along in radio in this town.
When he came along, I thought that he had, he put the life back into the radio station again. This station was like dying on the vine. They had me on at that 9 to 1 time, which wasn't working, following that crusty old man. And the station was just wilting, He came along, injected a whole new bunch of life in there, and now here we go again,
Jeez.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, last week you were talking about Lake Wales and, I forget, Avon Park.
Avon Park, right.
And I wanted to remind you, right next to there's a town called Frostproof that, your friend Catherine Harris is from. You remember her?
Right.
And if you go to these towns, what you'll see is a lot of 13-year-old, 15-year-old Mexican kids that live in trailer parks at her granddaddy's farms that are picking oranges.
Right.
So, and then she's against anything that's going to loosen the subsidies for the agricultural producers here in the state of Florida, but officially she's free trade all the way.
Right.
She's such a hypocrite, it's unbelievable.
You like that cheap labor, baby.
That's right.
She probably helping Kathy Lee out with those sweatshops in Latin America. Have a great day, Pally. Have a good holiday.
Love you, buddy.
Bye-bye. Catherine Harris, she wants to be the senator. Oh, guess who else is going to run for senator?
Who?
I'm glad Huh?
Who?
That big fat tub of crap from New Hampshire who's a carpetbagger, that Bob Smith. Remember that right-wing piece of crap? Former New Hampshire Senator Bob Smith, hoping to represent his newly adopted home state, said yesterday that he plans to seek the seat of retiring Senator Bob Graham. Smith, a Republican who moved to Sarasota in May, told the Associated Press he'll formally announce his candidacy next month. I'm going to run a campaign which I basically offer my credentials to the people of Florida, my seniority, my experience in the Senate, Smith said. I want to help President Bush. This is a critical state for the president. We got to steal it. The two-term senator was defeated in last year's Republican primary by John Sununu. In June, he took a job selling high-end waterfront real estate in Longboat Key. He is a big tub of crap. Man, do I despise Bob Smith. But anyway, he's also throwing this thing into the ring. Catherine Harris said she was going to do it, but the Bushies aren't too happy about that. They're not too pleased because they're pissed off that if Catherine Harris sticks her ass in there again, that it'll rehash all of those memories of how they fixed the vote in Florida 3 years ago. And they're not too crazy about doing that. They're not keen to doing that. And also investigating about her involvement with Jeb and all the stuff that they were doing, who was putting what where.
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM.
Deck the halls with Hillary's balls. Oh, la, 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 la. She's been using men's room stalls. La, 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 la. People think that she's a lesbian. Oh, la, 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 la. That's until they see her testes. Oh, la, 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 la. She's the senator from New York. La, 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 la. She's been sporting 8-inch porch. La, 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 la. She wears A-skirts to hide her bills. La, 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 la. Think of it more as it kills. La, 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 la.
11:32, so that's one small victory for mankind. President Bush doesn't have the power to detain American citizen Jose Padilla, seized on U.S. soil as an enemy combatant, a federal appeals court ruled just a little while ago. The decision could force Padilla, held in a so-called dirty bomb plot, to be tried in civilian courts. In a 2-1 ruling, the 3-judge panel of 2nd U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals said Padilla's detention was not authorized by Congress and that Mr. Bush could not designate him as an enemy combatant without the authorization. Padilla is accused of plotting to detonate a dirty bomb which uses conventional explosives to disperse radioactive materials. The former Chicago gang member was arrested in May 2002 and within days was moved to a naval brig in Charleston, South Carolina. As this court sits only a short distance from where the World Trade Center stood, we are keenly aware as anyone of the threat Al-Qaeda poses to our country and the responsibilities the President and law enforcement officials bear for protecting the nation, the court said. But presidential authority does not exist in a vacuum, and this case involves not whether those responsibilities should be aggressively pursued, but whether the President is obligated in the circumstances presented here to share them with Congress, it added. The Padilla case is only one of several testing the broad law enforcement powers claimed by the Bush administration in the war on terrorism, the Nazi-in-chief. Meanwhile, U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney's former company, Halliburton, facing demands to pay back the money it's overcharged the American government for petroleum in Iraq, has won a $222 million contract for work without competitive tender. A no-bid contract, in other words. This is in the Brit Evening Standard. The contract was awarded to Halliburton subsidiary Kellogg Brown & Root, the ones that are feeding those filthy meals in the filthy kitchens to our troops in Iraq. Last week, at the same time as the Pentagon audit showed it to charge $61 million more than the market rate for fuel in Iraq. To avoid having to put the work out to bids, the contract is being funded from the Development Fund for Iraq. Contracts paid out of the $18.6 billion recently approved by Congress may only be awarded after a competitive tender, a stricture that doesn't apply to the Development Fund. So far, Kellogg Brown & Root's been awarded a total of $2.3 billion with no competitive bidding. The new contract is for the restoration of essential infrastructure of the Iraqi oil industry, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers said. Halliburton again yesterday denied it was guilty of overbilling for oil and gas that had been bringing into Iraq from Kuwait and Turkey. Welcome further reviews and audits of its work. Right. As the rape of the American public continues and the president's popularity rate goes zooming up there because the American public likes taking their pants down and bending over and getting raped at it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So did we find the thing or what?
Yeah, we got it in the vault.
What did he say?
Howard David here on a Thursday. Goldie on vacation for a couple of days, doing his extensive Christmas/Hanukkah shopping. Kim Bocamper comes up at 2 o'clock this afternoon, sandwiched between Low Life and High Life.
That's weak. That's weak.
I agree.
Quit while you're ahead, Mo. Can't beat the toad in the load. This thing that you just faxed me, I wasn't aware of this. Were you about the Hinckley family and the Bush family?
No, I didn't.
John Hinckley Jr., who shot Ronald Reagan in 1981, is about to be partially released from confinement after testimony from government psychiatrists. Hinckley's family and the family of President George W. Bush have long complicated ties that have been little reported. Hinckley's brother was scheduled to have dinner at the home of the current President Bush's brother the day after the assassination attempt. How do you like that? Man. Everything is all tied together. It's all enough to make you want to barf. I'm not gonna, it's pages and pages. I'll stick it in the bottom of my pile. Here's one that says, to the Hinckley family, look it up. I see germany.indiemedia.org. Link between Bush and Hinckley at the time of the shooting. Okay, thank you so much for your 80 pages of pretty interesting crap. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon Wireless line. 303 votes on the poll. What's your take on the decision to allow John Hinckley to have unsupervised trips? Only in America, it's insane, 164. He should have been executed, 60. Why not? He's been declared fit. 53.
That was funny.
And who's John Hinckley, 26? Calm down, load. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, sir.
I got two things I'd like to discuss with you.
Go right ahead.
The first thing is, you mean to tell me that the Bushmeister popularity is getting more popular because he captured a man who ran a country who we accused of being involved at 9/11, but
yeah, the answer is yes. Yes. Before
and
we go
also,
through the whole...
he was accused of...
And have a great day. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon Wireless line. A little bit convoluted there, chasing his tail. WQAM. Nobody there. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes.
How you doing, man?
Okay.
About, Michael Jackson with the pills and all that thing that came out.
Michael Jackson with the pills?
Yeah, you hear about that this morning?
Well, that's old stuff.
Allegations he drugged the kid? Is he hanging out
that's
with
old news, yeah. Yeah.
Is he hanging out with Bill Tanner?
Yeah. And, yeah, good call. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T. They all seem to be coming from the same place today. You know, this must be Norma's boyfriends that he turned on. Maybe he kicked them out for the holidays. WQAM.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm going to Canada next month. Actually, going to be in Toronto, actually, just outside in Mississauga.
Yeah,
So,
Mississauga.
And so I've never been to Canada. I'm afraid, number one, that I'm never going to want to come back to this hellhole. And number two, what's the best restaurant to go there in Mississauga?
The best restaurant in Mississauga, they got a fantastic Burger King, man. It's dynamite.
You're kidding me, right?
I beg your pardon?
You're kidding me.
Yes.
No, I mean,
man calls
phone
cops
call.
to... Will you shut up? Man calls cops to report cannabis theft. I might just get up and go in the living room and just go on strike the rest of this show. I might just do it. I'm like right on the edge. I got like a toe on the edge. If it weren't for those ratings coming out. Adelaide, Australia. What a dopey call. Police on Tuesday arrested a man who phoned officers to report thieves breaking into his house to steal his illicit cannabis crop. Police in the southern city of Adelaide said they arrested 4 men early Tuesday as they tried to steal the plants which were being grown in 2 rooms at the home. They also nabbed the homeowner who made the call on charges of illegally cultivating 16 cannabis plants in Australia, down under. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. We've taken about, 600, 700 calls so far. We've had 1 or 2. WQAM.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Happy Shaka Khan, Neil, and all those good things.
Yeah.
My contribution to the show, frankly, and I love you for the entertainment value. It's just tops.
Mm-hmm.
The Goldie caricature that we do, that we hear, unbelievable. I wreck my truck every time. It's got to be one of the funniest little things.
I like Dick a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go, Neil. Thanks a lot. Love you, man. Happy holidays.
And back to you, pal. He likes the Geldy stuff. See, not the real Geldy. He likes the Geldy that... In fact, everybody likes the Moe and Geldy that Boca Brian does. The real ones they can't stand. But the caricature ones are fantastic.
Up the butt.
See, that's the real Geldy, you know. Take him or leave him. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon line. Stadium tax, maybe... In fact, they're doing it right now, I would think. Wouldn't you?
What's that?
Come on, you're Mr. Sports. Get on top of these things. They're having a vote.
The extra half cent sales tax?
The city commission is holding their meet right now at City Hall in the Grove. And the stadium tax may be put before the voters. County voters in Dade could be asked to pay a 0.5%. I'm all for it, by the way. You people in Dade County, hey, more power to you. Build a stadium on every street corner, an arena, a stadium, have a good time. County voters could be asked to pay a 0.5% sales tax for a new Marlins stadium under plan being pushed by some Miami City officials. They're scheduled to discuss it. Their meeting is going on right now to discuss the language of a referendum question to be put on a ballot at some time in the future, sometime in your lifetime. City Commissioner Johnny Whitten said yesterday the commissioners may ask county commissioners to place the sales tax question on a future ballot sometime in the next 500 years. The tax, which would last between 1 and 2 years, would help the Marlins round out the financing they need for a $325 million retractable stadium in or near downtown Miami. Are people who live in Broward going to go to downtown Miami?
No.
Are people in Palm Beach County going to go to downtown Miami?
No.
But you go ahead and do it. Have a good time. But the proposal has a catch. Major League Baseball would have to guarantee the public would get revenue for the stadium for 30 years. How many?
About 30, man.
That way, if the Marlins moved away or went broke before then, the public would still get revenue from the new park. Remember contraction, said Johnny Whitten. The major point is for Major League Baseball to guarantee it. Major League Baseball, by the way, says we haven't ever done that before, and we aren't going to do it because to ask baseball for a guarantee would be a significant obstacle, and we're not going to do it. But we'll think of all kinds of creative ways to help the team. In other words, the answer is
no.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
In toy stores now, it's the hottest selling toy this holiday season. Rock and roll! The Ozzy Osbourne action figure.
Mom, he's peeing on my Barbie's playhouse.
Ozzy just ate all of my arthritis pills.
He just bit the head off of Sparky.
The Ozzy action figure speaks unintelligibly, just like the real Ozzy. The Ozzy action figure. Out of control ATV sold separately.
11:45 at 560 WQM. John Hinckley Jr. This is some pretty interesting stuff, and it's sure a lot more interesting than these bogus calls we're getting today. John Hinckley Jr. has been hospitalized since shooting President Reagan in 81, received permission yesterday to visit unsupervised his parents' home. Hinckley's family and the family of President George W. Bush have long social, political, and economic ties that have been little reported. Hinckley's brother was scheduled to have dinner at the home of the current President Bush's brother, Neil Bush, the day after the assassination attempt. Vice President George Herbert Walker Bush, father of the current President George W. Bush, assumed the duties of the presidency briefly after the shooting and nearly became president as Reagan almost died from the shooting. A bullet missed his aorta by less than an inch. The Bush and Hinckley families go back to the oil wildcatting days of the 60s in Texas. Ironically, they go back even farther in a genealogical sense, since they have a common ancestor in Samuel Hinckley, who lived in the late 1600s. The relationship was much closer between George Bush Sr. and Hinckley Sr., whose families were neighbors for years in Houston. John Hinckley Sr. contributed to the political campaigns of Bush Sr. all the way back to Bush's run for Congress, and he supported Bush against Reagan in the 1980 Republican presidential nomination race. Bush Sr. and Hinckley Sr. were both in the oil business. When the Hinckley Oil Company, Vanderbilt Oil, started to fail in the 1960s, Bush Sr.'s Zapata Oil financially bailed out Hinckley's company. Hinckley had been running an operation with 6 dead wells, but began making several $1 million a year after the Bush bailout. Scott Hinckley, John's brother, was scheduled to have dinner at the Denver home of Neil Bush, Bush Sr.'s son, and of course the current president's brother, the day after the shooting. At the time, Neil Bush was a Denver-based purchaser of mineral rights for Amoco, and Scott Hinckley was the vice president of his father's Denver-based oil business. On the day of the shooting, NBC News anchor John Chancellor, eyebrows raised, informed the viewers of the nightly news that the man who tried to kill the president was acquainted with the son of the man who would have become president had the attack succeeded. As a matter of fact, Chancellor reported in a bewildered tone, Scott Hinckley and Neil Bush had been scheduled to have dinner together at the home of the then vice president's son Neil the very next night. Do you know any of this?
Nope, not at all.
The story of the Bush-Hinckley connection was reported on the AP and UPI newswires and some newspapers, including the Houston Post, which apparently originated the story. It also was reported in Newsweek magazine. Then the story about one of the strangest coincidences in presidential assassination history simply disappeared. The AP story is quoted in its entirety at the end of this article, not for commercial use, but solely to be used for the brief kind of distorted thing they had on TV, whatever the hell it says. Neil Bush used a similar line, denying he knew John Hinckley. I have no idea. He said, I don't recognize any pictures of him. I just wish I could see a better picture of him when they showed him the picture. Besides all the family ties, Neil Bush lived in Lubbock, Texas throughout much of 78, where Reagan shooter Hinckley lived from 74 to 80. During this period, in 1978, Neil Bush served as campaign manager for the current president's unsuccessful run for Congress. There's pages missing in here. That's why it doesn't sound like it makes any sense. And it doesn't to me either. So I'm going to go online after the show and get the whole thing. Pretty interesting crap. And it just, I guess, another one of those coincidences, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, just
a lot of strange coincidences. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. What's your take on the decision to allow John Hinckley to have unsupervised trips? 335 votes. Only in America, it's insane, 177. He should have been executed, 67. Why not? He's been declared fit, 63. And who's John Hinckley? 28. 8.3% of this audience says, who's John Hinckley? All right. WQAM, hello. QAM. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
Listen, it's not going to be a big conspiracy. I remember when that first came out. I was just going into the military then, the Air Force, when the shooting occurred, and they tried to investigate that for a while. It died down. But you know also about Dean and Bush. Dean's grandmother or something was best friends with. They're all connected. All this money, old money and power.
Right.
Each grandmother was at each other's weddings. I can think.
Kind of like the Bushes and the Bin Ladens again.
Well, that's yeah. Well, there's always a bad son somewhere, a bad seed, I guess. But
is that what it is?
Yeah. Good luck to you.
Okay, Pally. 5670560, pound 560. By the way, any connection between this as a real radio show today and anything we've ever done in the past, purely coincidental. Man. WQAM, hello.
Can I get on with Neil?
You're speaking to him.
Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
First of all, I just wanted you to know that, I don't know if you knew it or not, but I went into my favorite head shop a couple of days ago and found out that Ken Jennings raided all the head shops and took all the bongs and bowls and everything.
All right. Now we're safe. Coast is clear, I can come back.
Yeah, isn't that funny that half the 9/11 hijackers lived on here in complete anonymity while he was out catching bong smokers?
And don't forget raiding the swing clubs, too.
And the swing clubs. You got nothing else better to do. And is he not the most disgusting, ugliest person you've ever seen in your life?
He's the possum. You ever seen him and a possum together? Same person.
Neil, love your show, buddy. Keep up the good work.
Have a great day, Pally. Good luck to you, okay? And get the hell out of there before it's too late. They're going to come and take away your bong and your dong and anything else you got that looks like one. That's America for you. Just like that woman in Texas selling the dildo. Dragged her ass off to jail for selling a dildo. 5670560. Although I guess she didn't have the one you pump up like we saw on Playboy Channel yesterday. What? They were pumping it up. Keep your finger on that button.
Where's Kate? Restaurant. Is that Bruce? Where? Over there, next to that skinny girl from that TV show.
Yeah, he sure is ugly, too, by the way. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon Wireless line. WQAM.
Neil?
Yes, sir.
I go Kate.
WQAM, hello. One of your people.
Hey.
Go. Yes, sir.
I'll talk to Neil.
Speaking.
How's it going, eh?
It's going pretty good, eh?
All right. Hey, I wanted to call you the other day. I tried to get through, but you guys don't answer the cell phones or something, I guess. I don't know.
No, we don't like cell phones. We got a prejudice against them.
All right, I'll flush it. That article by Tom Jicka,
Yeah.
this is going to piss you off, I know.
Go ahead.
I
You
listen
can
to
handle
Stern in the morning. When he goes off, I tune over to you.
Yeah.
And I listen to that other fat guy at noon because I find him entertaining. I know he's completely opposed. You and him are diametrically opposed politically and everything, but
Yeah.
I know you hate this, don't you?
I could care less. Why would I hate it? What do I care?
You hate Rush, and I suppose if somebody tells you that they listen to you,
Sir, let me tell you something. If I had 1% of the audience that he's got, if I made 10% of the money he's making, I could go out and buy a lot of pills too. I'd be retired right now.
Well, are you rolling tape?
Am I rolling tape? No, I'm not rolling tape. This is a guy, he's got a whole shtick going here. It's gonna piss me off. He's got something to say that he wants me to tape so we can play it over and over again so we can hear the sound of his voice. Sir, in fact, I hope you would listen to, tapes of Rush between whenever the part is you're listening to this show. Have a great life. Don't go away mad. Just go away, okay? As in, bye, bye, bye! Exactly. Who cares? See, each one of these people, in their mind, they believe that if they would call here and say, oh, your show sucks, or I'm going to listen to Rush, what do I care? I don't get paid any more or less, whether this guy listens to the whole show or any of the show. Am I rolling tape? Oh, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, of course. As soon as we heard the sound of your voice, man, Josh jumped right on it, man. He got that audio vault thing going where they got every piece of equipment in the building is like smoking now.
We had Linda Trippin here getting ready.
Right. She's taping it. God. And what about that new puss that she's got? My good God.
Oh.
She got a whole new puss. She's like that bitch on CNBC, whatever the hell her name was.
Which is worse, her or Greta Van Susteren?
Which one looks worse?
Yeah.
Morning call with Ted David. Look at that. The Dow is up 56.5. The Nasdaq's up 21. The markets are soaring. The president's numbers are phenomenal. They're going through the roof. Miss Fudge is ripping Bill O'Reilly. What's not to like? The right-wingers are in control, baby. And good luck to you all. 56705. You got the tape rolling?
Yeah, I'm rolling it.
I noticed line one hasn't been, you want to know what's not ringing? It doesn't work.
That's a surprise.
Isn't it? Yeah, what a shock. Hey, fix it. I hate to break the news to you, but line one is effed up again. Okay, just mention that in passing. I was starting to take it personal. Because I like line 9, my favorite, the best. With nobody on it. Damn it. WQAM, hello.
Are you rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling it. Rolling a big fat one.
Oh, God. Listen, Neil, I'm a hardcore Republican. All right?
Yes, sir?
And I listen to you on a regular basis just for laughs.
Just for amusement, yeah.
When you go on your rampage of liberalism, I click the Rush, and that's it. I mean, it's a matter of you switch it on, you switch it off. It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't take it personally when you start doing your thing. And
well, see, one thing I'll say, at least your people haven't so far taken away the freedom for people to listen to whatever they want. Although they're doing their best to try to make sure that only a couple of companies that agree with them own all the stations. But so far, at least, we can still say what we want.
I think it'll continue that way. I don't think that's going to be going away anytime soon. That's the Constitution, and that's not going to go.
Yeah, right.
and you're right. Their arms is there too. So and in parting, just Osama es un maricón.
Okay, grande. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. By the way, roll that tape, baby. I hear we're going to get some great callers that noon to 1 hour. Noon to 1 is just some foreplay for that big ratings hour. We got the party favors and the balloons and all that stuff to start. I'm telling you, I rarely predict these things, but just based on logic and based on the fact that Ferrall was there not the whole month of November, but the whole rating month, which went from like late October to the middle of November, 4 weeks.
Just when we thought we had things really going, and then Greg screwed it up again. Nice going, Greg, you jackass.
The synonym to the phrase, this is good. This is right up Scran's alley, if I can say that.
Rectum.
It says the synonym to the phrase, one in the pink, one in the stink, is the following 2004 Republican presidential election slogan, one in the bush, one in the tush, says Ray in Miami Springs. Nice going, Ray.
Rectum. This is Sports Radio 560, QAM.
This is Mo Howard and David. And the only thing funnier than rape is that pipe smokers 12 to 1 hour.
Grandma got run over at the Walmart. All right. Trampled under shoppers' greedy feet.
Get out of my way, you pervert.
It was on the day after Thanksgiving. Poor Grandma didn't know she'd be dead meat.
Every year we yell, we trample.
All she wanted was a player.
So congratulations. You ruined Christmas.
For the DVD she owned.
Merry Christmas. Kiss my ass.
But when those fateful doors swung open,
welcome to Walmart.
She was stepped on and banged up straight to the bone. Grandma's now quite out of action. In a hospital she sits. Half her body is in traction, and she even needs a nurse to take a shit. Grandma got run over at the Walmart.
Ain't it awful?
Trampled under shoppers' greedy feet. It was on the day after Thanksgiving.
Go!
Poor Grandma didn't know she'd be dead meat.
You're just miserable.
Grandma got run over at the Walmart. Trampled under shoppers' greedy feet. It was on the day after Thanksgiving. Poor Grandma didn't know she'd be dead meat.
Hello, operator. Give me the number for 911. Merry Christmas, everybody. Watch your ass.
Okay, here's another fax you're sending me. That's a story that we have on our website. Pope likes Mel Gibson's film on Christ's Passion. It's on our website. Thank you so much anyway. Of all the things in the world that I just despise that people do, it's faxing us stuff. It's like, back at you. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
Here's stuff. No, you had no way of knowing that because you sure as hell wouldn't be looking at our website reading them stories. That's no chance of that. Nothing about the hurricanes on there.
I like the pictures.
Do you like the pictures? Them cute little pictures of Rumsfeld shaking hands with Sodom? That's cute. That's still on there.
Yep.
Them cartoons. You can have Josh read you some of the words in the cartoons. 5670560. This is, I'm telling you, this hour, if we could just move, not because I'm anxious to get out of here today, because quite frankly, it's almost the end of the week anyway, but I'm just so curious about this trend coming up. Now, granted, the Arbit Trends, which is a rolling 3-month average in the ratings, it doesn't, it's not the entire book, but this will be 2/3 of the fall rating book, and I think it's just going to be significant because, like I said, it was the last vestiges of Ferrall.
Ferrall on QAM.
Which we were going through the roof at that time. This station was like just smoking. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And now it's just like, you just see like the little... How is Scott doing, by the way, over there at the sub-center?
I don't know if we've heard yet. 200.
But 100 of that was from Chuck, right?
Correct.
Well, that's... now, what the hell happened to that total? Didn't Miguel... Yeah, here it is. So we're creeping there. 48,790. We need another 210 today to get to 49,000. We sure as hell can do that easy. It's my fault. I haven't been promoting it because, quite frankly, where Scott Jr. is concerned, who wants to think about him anyway? Makes me lose my appetite. Maybe we can have the Scott Jr. diet, Just have a picture of him pasted on your refrigerator. Boy, he is just strange. Not that we don't like you, Jr., it's just that you're strange, which he would admit to that. He's not one of those people in denial, like, what's not to like? He wouldn't say that. He'd say, like that. Oh, Daimler Chrysler's Chrysler division, bowing to critics, said, see, everybody's caving in. First it was Abercrombie and Fitch. This is what really frosts my fat ass, is that everybody's a wimp. Chrysler's Chrysler Division Biotic critics said yesterday it was abandoning plans to sponsor a Super Bowl Sunday televised football game featuring underwear-clad models. The Lingerie Bowl 2004, a tackle football game to be played by 14 women models wearing bras and panties, was to have been sponsored by Chrysler's Dodge brand and broadcast pay-per-view TV at halftime during the NFL's championship game on February 1. Halftime has never been this sexy, reads one headline from the event's website. Dodge, whose advertising features the slogan, "Grab life by the horns," was to have had its Ram's Head logo emblazoned on bras worn by the models. Critics dubbed the event sexist, however, and senior Chrysler officials have been distancing themselves from it since last week. Proceeds from the event were originally due to benefit the American Foundation for AIDS Research, but it also severed ties with the game. A source close to Chrysler said conservative lobbying groups had flooded the company's email system with complaints about the upcoming spectacle. You've got at some point to decide, okay, maybe we made a mistake, let's pull the plug, the source said. What a pile of crap! In a statement formally announcing the withdrawal of Dodge's sponsorship of the Lingerie Bowl, George Murphy, Chrysler's senior vice president of global marketing, dismissed it as a distraction that had taken the spotlight off the company's cars and trucks. He didn't elaborate on the controversy which first came to light several weeks ago. A spokesman for Horizon Productions, Inc., the Lingerie Bowl's producer, said it was disappointed that Dodge had withdrawn its sponsorship, but that the game would go on anyway. Isn't that a bunch of crap? Everybody's caving in. Abercrombie and Fitch, the sexiest catalog in the history of mankind. Something everybody looked forward to every year. Oh, well, we're not going to put one out anymore because we're caving in. Everybody hears the not just the handwriting on the wall, they hear those goose steps outside their door. They can hear them coming. Tragic. And speaking of that, Pope John Paul, and this is on our website, has seen Mel Gibson's controversial film, The Passion About Christ's Final Hours, and said, what's not to like? That's what he said. The Pope saw the film with his longtime Polish secretary, Archbishop Stanislaw Douchebag, about 10 days ago. The source also confirmed reports the Pope told his secretary after viewing the film, it is as it was, meaning he considered it an authentic portrayal of gospel accounts of the last hour in Christ's life, as if he knows, right? He was there. Like Walter Cronkite would say, and you are there. Not, it is as it was. Boy, oh boy. The film, which is due to be released in February, has been shown to a select audience of Catholic officials in several private screenings in recent weeks. The 83-year-old Pope viewed the film on a video monitor in his apartment, the source said. Abraham Foxman, U.S. director of the Anti-Defamation League, said the group would respect the Pope's views. This Pope has a record of history of sensitivity to the Jewish community and has a clear moral voice and understanding when it comes to anti-Semitism, Foxman said. We hope that Mel Gibson has heard our concerns and those of Christian and Jewish scholars and religious leaders who expressed unease about the earlier version and its potential to fuel, rationalize, and legitimize anti-Semitism, he said. So in other words, they cleaned it up like the Reagan thing. They cleaned it up, they polished it off, and now it's acceptable. And he gave it his stamp, his seal of approval. What a pile of crap. Anyway, the QAM van is at the sub-center. Our good friend Chuck, thank him for his nice check. He's on the corner of Ivesbury Road and 441. Right there, kitty corner of the QM studios. And right kitty corner, Kentucky Fried Chicken on the other side. And Pollo Tropical and the Amico station. What else have we got over there? And the Walgreens back there in the strip shopping center. What a great hood. Now, what's that titty bar on the other corner there?
Tootsie's.
Tootsie's? You can sing Tootsie Go By and Scott will look at bye-bye and Scott will look at you like that. No matter what you do, he'll look at you same way. He's got our Best of Neil merchandise. You can also drop off some toys for the Joe and Mark Toy Drive. Get those Mo Howard David keychains. $200. We got to get over 49 by 2 o'clock with him. See what I'm saying? Then we got to shop the rest of the day with all these other things. Because Josh Cordes will have the best of with him at Tony Roma's 7 to 9 tonight at Ludlam and US 1. Tony Roma's ate there many a time. Boy, those were the days. WNWS. And tomorrow with George, noon to 2 at Fort Lauderdale Harley on Federal, just south of Oakland Park Boulevard. Free food from Atlantic City Subs and the lovely George. Even though he's on vacation this week, he'll still be working his little ass off tomorrow because he gets paid for it. And tonight, Joe and Mark show from 2 in the morning till 5 from Cafe Iguana. They'll be collecting toys all night long and throughout the day till 7 o'clock tomorrow night. New and unwrapped toys to benefit the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital. So everybody's trying to do their part at this time of the year, and we've just been receiving today a torrent of good holiday wishes and good cheer from the lovely, wonderful, friendly folks of South Florida. What a culture shock it is, you know, from when a show ends at 2 o'clock and I walk out, not even just walk out the door. When I get in the elevator and run into people in my building, everybody's friendly. Good afternoon. How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Courteous. Hold the door for you. Everybody's pleasant. They're smiling. Everybody's in a good mood. And then you come in here and open up that phone, man, 10 o'clock in the morning. You know, it's the same old, in various forms, but it all comes out the same. You know what I mean? You know exactly what I mean after you eat the ice cream. It's in various different forms, shapes and sizes and letters, but it's all the same.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know. Here's the new poll, by the way. The final tally on the other poll, 385 votes. What's your take on the decision to allow John Hinckley to have unsupervised trips?
Get instant professional care.
Yeah, well, only in America, it's insane. 205 said that. He should have been executed, 79. Why not? He's been declared fit, 71. And who's John Hinckley? Look at that.
About 30, man.
7.7% in this audience. 30 people said, who's John Hinckley? Now, I know there was another choice, but for obvious reasons we couldn't put it on there. Here's the next poll. Which of these do you most strongly believe? 5 choices. George W. Bush had advanced knowledge of 9/11.
Visit, as I said, BJ's shop.
Other Bush officials had advance warning. Nobody in government had a clue. Heads ought to roll at the FBI and or CIA for failure to prevent 9/11, or G.W. Bush should be impeached for lying to Congress and the public. 5 excellent choices. Which of these do you most strongly believe? G.W. Bush had advanced knowledge of 9/11. Other Bush officials had advance warning. Nobody in government had a clue. Heads ought to roll at the FBI and or CIA for failure to prevent 9/11, or G.W. Bush should be impeached for lying to the Congress and the public. Now, that one guy that called a little while ago, he's obviously, if he didn't already turn over to Rush, he's racing to the dial to turn over to there right now. Can you believe that? But that's okay. Like I said, have a great life. It's a free country, at least so far. Cheap Channel doesn't own every radio station yet. We don't have all right-wing shows on all the time. Although WIOD, I noticed, had another right-wing asshole from Tampa, or used to be in Tampa, to their lineup. So it's all right-wing all day. Everybody's caving in, knuckling under. And all this money that we have to spend on the next year's election, why even bother, you know? Look at all the money we could save. Let's just call them all off. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon Wireless line. I better vote, I guess, huh? Did you vote yet?
Not yet.
I just voted. WQAM, happy Thursday.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good, sir.
We can schedule a little photo op for Bush and Hinckley? And, hey, Beast, you fat bitch, you late.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon Wireless line. That's the same guy that called at the end of Joe's show this morning.
That's Kevin. He calls every day.
On the air, he calls every day?
Yeah, but his name's not Kevin. He's actually, this guy's like Mike, Mark, whatever.
Can I ask you this question?
Yeah.
No, seriously. I'm not trying to, run anybody else's show, but I've been doing this a long time.
About 30, man.
And why is it that the sport, and I already know the answer, because it ensures a steady flow of never-ending calls. I do understand that. It's called a cop-out. It's the easy way out.
Were you about to suggest cutting out the Chronics?
Yes.
No.
Why? Why is there this insistence?
This is what you would hear.
And I could be wrong, because you've worked on the various shows, the sports shows on the station. Is it all the shows do that? Will they talk to anybody who calls every day?
Because if you cut out the Chronics, this is what a phone call would be like.
Really?
I mean, once in a while you get a couple new people, but otherwise it's the same people. Over.
Oh, brother.
And over. And over. And the best part is, the callers think that they're doing their own talk show, so they call up and they interact with the producer.
You mean like Juan from Little Havana,
right.
for example?
Like Juan will be on the phone with Zach or Grieper for like a half an hour before he goes on the air. Making buds and friends and chitty-chatting.
And whose decision is that? Is that the individual host decision, or are the people? Because personally, if it was me, I mean, I would have fired, as much as I like Zach, and I can't stand Robert Grieper, I would have fired both their ass a long time ago, because, to be honest with you, anybody producing the show that puts the same people on there every single day, you're just not doing the job. You're not doing a job.
Yeah, but then you don't have any callers.
How do you know that unless you try it? Because shows that encourage people the same ones to call every day not only don't have any callers, they don't have any listeners. Nobody wants to hear the same chronic voices every single day.
And the other thing is, all the callers, they're stupid, but they're not that stupid. They change their names. They use different voices.
Yeah.
They'll call 4 times during a show with different accents.
But the fact of the matter is that our people will talk to them every time they call. Because even after the first few seconds, and you realize all of a sudden it's that chronic Joe, or it's chronic Kevin, or it's chronic Juan from Little Havana, whoever the hell it is, or Reverend Jones, they keep talking to him like, no problem. It is coma-inducing, man.
Absolutely.
Ponderous.
Actually, the only guy that's pretty strict with his callers is Eddie K.
Well, Eddie K bitches everybody out.
Yeah.
Which I do like that, but he bitches everybody out. Well, look at the initial response on this poll. 31 votes. Which of these do you most strongly believe? George W. Bush had advance knowledge of 9/11, only 2. Other Bush officials had advance warning, 3. Nobody in government had a clue, 4. Heads ought to roll at the FBI and or CIA for failure to prevent 9/11, 5. And George W. Bush should be impeached for lying to Congress and the public, 17 in the early going.
Oh! Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
All the time.
It's the crap they play down the hall.
That's power.
Power 96. What garbage. The kids today don't know what's good. Like that song, I'm happy I live in a split-level head. You remember that? How can you... Listen. I'm happy I live in a split-level head. I'm happy I live in a split-level head. You don't remember that?
No.
Why am I surrounded by morons?
Come on, Howie.
Don't you call me Howie. I've had enough insubordination from you, pal.
No.
Calm down, Rita. You shut up, fatso. Okay, that's it. You're all fired. You fat, stupid boob. You listen to me. You're fired. Guilty that goes for you, too. You know who I am? I'm the king of paradise. I came down here after losing my job to be a big fish in a little pond. When they kicked me off ESPN, they told me don't come back again. I had some problems with wise guys who advised I move to paradise, Florida. Fired. That back deal ain't no Louis Nye. That guy was funny. You're all fired. And I hope that kid guzzler dies. I hope he dies. And I hope you all die. I'm a big fish in a little pond, see? A big fish in a little pond. Is anybody listening to me? I'm a big fish in a little pond, a big fish in a little pond, a big fish in a little pond. Yeah! What is anybody into me? Absolutely.
Prop 20, boy, my psychic powers have kicked in today big time. What did I say to you? Was it before the show when I was telling you about this Michael Jackson finds Islam?
Yeah.
And what did I say about playing the race card?
You said it would happen.
And who did I say they'll probably get as the attorney? I'm looking at
Johnny
the fudge.
Cochran?
I'm looking at the fudge report right now, and in red, when it's in red, you go,
oh,
wow, uh-oh. Anytime we see any headline in red on the fudge report, everybody goes, report, super lawyer Johnny Cochran to take Michael Jackson case. How do you like that? As Neil's psychic powers kick in again. If you tune in late, shame on you. Because we expect everybody to listen all 4 hours every day, 5 days a week. Don't we? Of course not. Jacko finds Islam. I'll just read a little bit in this morning's New York Post. The king of pop is restyling himself, Jacko X, as Johnny Cochran and a whole bunch, because obviously now, see if there was any doubt in anybody's mind, once Johnny Cochran starts into a case like this, like OJ, there's one word that comes to your mind. What's the word begins with a G, ends in Y? Guilty. Got it, Beast?
Got it.
What is he eating, Josh? He's got to be eating. You have got to be eating. Huh? Yeah,
I'm not eating.
You probably got the chair with your back to Josh, turned toward the wall, stuffing stuff into your puss. I guarantee it.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Michael, oh, brother. Talk about it. Yeah, listen to that. Tittering like a little girl, and some chick's going out with you tonight? Boy, wait till she gets a load of your act, huh?
A load?
Yeah, oh, she ain't getting no load from you. She'll get a load of crap. In fact, why don't you eat some more ice cream before your date?
No, thank you.
Michael Jackson last night became a member of the Nation of Islam, and sources told the New York Post his religious changeover comes along with a shakeup of his personal staff. High-ranking members of the Nation of Islam have been working to bring Jackson into Reverend Louis Farrakhan's flak flock, and Jackson's conversion is now well known in the NOI community, the Nation of Islam, the NOI community. Exactly why Jackson converted wasn't clear to the Post sources, but now we're starting to see the race card on the horizon. Fox News' website reported yesterday that Jackson's brother Jermaine, who converted to Islam in 1989, has been seeking to win favor with his more famous sibling. He wants in on that cash and has brought Farrakhan's chief of staff, Leonard F. Muhammad, into Jacko's inner circle as a bodyguard. And although there's talk in Jackson's camp that they want to replace defense lawyer Mark Garagos, the high-priced Hollywood attorney appeared in firm control yesterday, but the world-famous Fudge report says, in red no less, in red...
Oh, my God.
Report super lawyer Johnny Cochran to take Michael Jackson case. Even Bill O'Reilly would have to believe that, even as much as he and Miss Fudge are Smith fighting. Not great? So if you thought we had some ugly bunch of crap, see, I don't understand how somebody can play the race card when they're whiter than you are. They're whiter than your ass, Michael Jackson. He's been bleaching and bleaching and bleaching. Forget about the nose and all the other body parts. But he's been bleaching that puss of his for years now. He's as white as the fallen snow in goddamn Mississauga. So who the hell is he kidding? By the way, you know any good restaurants in Mississauga?
Is there McDonald's there?
Tell the guy to call up Don Cherry, and he lives in Mississauga. He'll tell him. Let's see. Thought this might be of interest. Ray, the Marlins proposed stadium. Who's this from? Who signed that? Bert?
I guess so, yeah.
Bert, but. It says, don't underestimate development headaches, and it's a long thing about leaving a new city stadium. Okay, thank you very much, Bert, Boot, whoever you are. But it's kind of ponderous. I'll read it in my leisure time. So this is the shocking news of the hour. That it looks like Johnny Cochran is going to step into the breach, which means guilty. Comes to my mind, not that I had any doubts to begin with. And 4 o'clock this afternoon, they're going to officially file the charges, and you can be sure all the Talking Head networks will be breathlessly awaiting. And keep your eye on the bouncing balls. Keep your ears and eyes open for the dates of the alleged stuff. Got it? 76 votes on our second poll.
Expected to file child molestation charges against the pop star Michael Jackson.
I just said that, Wolf. You fascist. You bushlicker. 76 votes. Which of these do you most strongly believe? George W. Bush should be impeached for lying to Congress and the public. 47.3%. That's what I voted. What'd you vote?
I voted, actually, you know what? I couldn't vote.
Why not?
It just, the poll came up. Like, I think someone else in the building got to it before I could.
Good. Heads ought to roll at the FBI and or CIA for failure to prevent 9/11. 17. Nobody in government had a clue. 10. Change it again. 12. George W. Bush had advanced knowledge of 9/11. We got 8 people believe that, and other Bush officials had advanced warning on others 6. But 46.3% say George W. Bush ought to be impeached. We ought to have the impeachment hearings going on right now. And instead, what do we get? We get his ratings are soaring through the roof. His popularity, 63%. He's 20 points ahead of Dean, 23 points. 60 to 37% if the election were right now. Thank goodness it ain't.
We talked to one defense attorney who knows Mr. Sneddon, the prosecutor up here, quite well, and he says that if there are heavily graphic details in the documents released today, that could be bad for Mr. Jackson.
Uh-oh. You hear that? Heavily graphic details.
Squirt, squirt.
Look out. 5670560. It's going to be so ugly, you know? And wouldn't it be something if we had simultaneous, which you know they wouldn't do it, if we had the Sodom trial going on, because they said it could happen next summer, and the Michael Jackson trial, too. Wouldn't we have to, go on FM and be in stereo? Have one trial one trial in the right channel, one in the left channel. That's what I'm thinking. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. QAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good afternoon to you.
Hey, why do you think they would play the race card to avoid riots if he's found guilty?
Huh?
Yeah. Right. To avoid riots if he's found guilty. There you go. Just like what OJ. Isn't that what they did to avoid riots?
No.
If he was found guilty?
No.
27 past noon with your perspicacious crowd at QAM.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Coming next year, the King of Pop, your hometown, touring to benefit the Cardinal Classic School for Wayward Boys. It's Michael Jackson.
You know my plate isn't picky. I've got a very appetite. Michael Jackson's benefit tour. 'Cause I'll fondle any child. It don't matter if he's black or white.
Michael Jackson. Yes, Michael performs all of his greatest hits, from oldies with the Jackson 5.
They're learning the ABCs. I'm getting down on my knees. Removing the dungarees. ABC side of me. Baby, you and me.
That's right. From the timeless tunes of the Jackson 5 to the classic solo work, Michael Jackson's benefit tour aims to please.
People I surround myself with argue denial. Some call me big brother, some a pedophile. But when there's no one to defile, I just sit for a while and beat it, beat it, beat it. The King of Pop. I beat it, beat it, beat it.
Michael Jackson.
Sometimes I'm so depressed that I just sit around sulking, waiting for a call from Macaulay Culkin. When I'm home alone, sitting naked by the phone, I beat it, beat it.
And be one of the 5 lucky boys to receive backstage passes to hang out in Michael Jackson's dressing room. Michael Jackson's benefit tour.
Hey, Michael. Yes, Bobby? Is that your real skin color? Well, it's inside what counts. But I know a game that we can play to find out. Unzip your fly. You know, it's time to free Willy.
Say what you want, but you know who I give affection. Well, they don't know how to read, but little boys give me erection.
And hear the rousing finale as Michael sings the song he wrote for the children of the world, with the Vienna Boys Choir backing him up.
I don't like girls. I like male children. They are the ones who turn me on, and hey, I hope they're willing. It's a choice I'm making. I might screw up their lives, but it's true they make the greatest lane when they're just fine.
Hear other great Michael Jackson classics, like Billy's Jeans, Do You Know How to Tell Time? And of course, Smooth Criminal. Yes, it's Michael Jackson's tour to benefit the Cardinal Classic School for Wayward Boys. Get your tickets now. Boys under 10 admitted free when accompanied by no one.
They're black, they're white, they're really, really tight. They're black, they're white, they're really, really tight.
12:33 at 560 WQM. So why do you think they're going to play that race card, huh? Maybe like so everybody will go to Carl's Jr. and get some of them new burgers without the buns?
Maybe.
114 votes. I mean, that was an excellent call. That's one of the best we've had all day, and we've had some real good ones. 114 votes. Which of these do you most strongly believe? George W. Bush should be impeached for lying to Congress and the public? 56, 49.1%. Heads ought to roll at the FBI and or CIA for failure to prevent 9/11, 22. Nobody in government had a clue, 15. George W. Bush had advanced knowledge of 9/11, 13. And other officials had advance warning, 8 out of 114. Kind of a mixed bag. Although pretty heavy on the impeachment deal.
Oh!
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon line. Kimba Bocamper at 2 for the Mad Dog, who's screwing off this week. The Humper, what is it? The Load. The Load will be along. Hank from 4 to 7 with Bino Cook, who's a load of crap. Bino 5 to 6. Hurricane Hotline from Tony Roma's at 7 tonight. College Bowl Preview at Tony Roma's at 9. Boy, we got everything sold, man. You name it, we got a sponsor for it. 10 o'clock, it's Eddie K and Joe Mark overnight, 2 to 5 in the morning. And of course, tonight, they're going to be broadcasting live from Cafe Iguana. And all through till 7 o'clock tomorrow night, they'll be hanging out. They won't be on the air, thank God. But they'll be hanging out at Cafe Iguana for you to come by and bring toys, new and unwrapped toys, to benefit Joe DiMaggio's Children's Hospital. How's Scott Jr. doing, Josh?
He's got 300.
300, which means that's a pretty exciting number. You want to know why? I'm glad you asked. Because that means the next CD or Mo Howard David a keychain that anybody purchases, that'll put us over $49,000, $48,890. In fact, I bet you that somebody in the building is probably racing across the street to the sub-center right now saying, "Oh, let me be the one."
No.
No? I'm sure the Beast is on his way right now.
Hey, I gave.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
You gave at the orifice, that's what I heard. 5670560. We're 24 minutes away from 1 o'clock when the little hand hits the big hand and those ratings numbers start puking out for the, what is it? September, October, November trends. 2/3 of the fall rating book and a propitious, a turning point. I'm telling you, it's going to be mighty huge. WQAM. Good one. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how's it going, man?
Pretty good, sir.
Good. Listen, I went over to, Mall of the Americas on Saturday and picked up your CD. It was pretty good. The only question I have is, where do you get, like, the old archive ones? Like, your old, like, back in the day?
Can't do it.
Can't do it? No way?
No gots.
And listen, one more thing. You know when you play that About 30 Man thing? Isn't that like
30 Man?
Yeah. Isn't that, from Who Wants a Millionaire or something?
No, that's from it's from that bit we play on Who Wants a Millionaire, right?
About 30, man.
Which is coming up soon.
Okay, thanks, Neil. Take care, man.
Have a great day, Pally. Yeah, we haven't played that in a long time. Regis and whoever the hell it is. Who is that with Regis?
P.
Puff
Diddy
Daddy?
and ODB.
Regis and what the hell is that called? Uh-oh. I don't know what the hell that thing is called. Beast.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You're supposed to be on top of everything.
How do I know what George puts it under in this thing?
Is it called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
How do I
Is it
know
called,
what George puts
maybe
it
it's P. Diddy and Regis, huh? You think? Puff? I'm looking. Puff the Magic Rapper. Puffy with Regis Millionaire. I think it starts out like something like that. It's coming up soon. 5670560, pound 560. Listen, when you got about 25 million bits in this thing, it's a miracle you can remember anything. I think it's a great testicle to our sanity. 48.6% say we want the impeachment starting right now, before the weekend, before Johnny Cochran throws his hat in the ring. WQAM.
You out there, Candy Cane?
WQAM, hello.
Hey, can I speak to Neil, please?
Speaking.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Retire, asshole.
Okay, WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello. WQAM, going once or twice.
Yes, I think that you're right when you said that this occupation is based on lies. That guy who was called last Sunday wasn't Saddam. He was Santa Claus.
Yeah, okay. 5670560, pound 560 on a QM goofball line. Hello.
Hey, Neil, what's going on?
Not too much. You can hear it.
Yeah, peace, you fat bitch.
WQM, hello.
It was Papa Noel, you fat.
WQM, hello.
Yes, I'd like to impeach that bastard.
How about Bush?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon line. We're waiting for some more of these really good calls. They're on there, but we'll let them calm down. Matt Bivens in The Nation in the Daily Outrage column writes, the not-so-long arm of Saddam. Very short. He says, back when we citizens were struggling to follow the debates over whether to invade Iraq, a comment often heard, often in a half-doubting, half-hopeful tone, was, they, meaning the foreign policy elites in Congress and the White House, probably know some things that we don't yet. We assumed that no one would be foolish enough to drag us half-assed into a land war in the Middle East. Indeed, the very fact that even as rank-and-file Democrats were saying no to war, congressional Democrats were reluctantly saying yes, seemed to support the logic they had been told things we hadn't. Now comes a potential blockbuster of a claim. Democratic Senator Bill Nelson of Florida says the Bush administration last year told him and about 75 other senators at a classified briefing that Iraq not only had terrifying weapons, but also a means to deliver them to East Coast cities. Nelson wouldn't say who made that startling behind-closed-doors claim, though the White House directed questions about it to a tight-lipped Pentagon. But aside from this claim of an Iraqi long-range threat to the East Coast apparently having been totally wrong, it was also far more alarming a claim than ever was put before the public. It was also likely a claim likely to have been ripped apart by non-government experts. Why was that? Why it was only whispered in a few senatorial ears, he asks. Isn't it time for senators to speak out frankly about what they were told about Iraq? After all, it sounds like they got a different story than the rest of us. That asshole Lou Dobbs, that fat-faced, self-aggrandizing putz on CNN last night had James Woolsey on there poo-pooing all of this. Well, Bill Nelson wasn't really told that, and he didn't really understand what they were telling him, and yada yada. Bull crap, okay? Bull crap. They lie like most people breathe the fresh air. It's kind of like Greg Reed, you know what I'm saying? It's like a way of life.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Picked a bad day to quit sniffing glue. He do the rush struggle limbo, bouncing off the walls in a rehab room. He do the rush struggle limbo, He do the rush struggle limbo, He do the rush struggle limbo. On loan from God, hateful and rotten. He do the rush struggle limbo, snorting and popping illegal oxycontin. He do the rush struggle limbo, He do the rush struggle limbo, He do the rush struggle limbo.
Little girl, Candy, I had an epiphany, my friends. An epiphany. It's done.
Under the rug is where the story's going. He do the rush struggle limbo, damage control so they can pigeonhole it. He do the rush struggle limbo, He do the rush struggle limbo, He do the rush struggle limbo.
1246, this crap you just faxed me from this Bush Liquor, this David Howell guy, whatever the hell his name is. Yeah. Thought you might like some positive info since you have trouble finding any. No, I don't have trouble finding accurate information, okay, David? I don't just read the National Review and watch Fox News all day.
Notice
he
blacked out the website address it came from?
Yeah, probably from Newsmax.com. But at any rate, to make a long story short, he's got all these different pointers here about the 1st Battalion of the new Iraqi army has graduated on active duty. He hasn't mentioned the fact that half of the Iraqi military has already resigned. He hasn't talked about that. Also doesn't talk about the fact that there are no traffic lights operating anywhere in the city of Baghdad. None. Zero. Bill Humper had that on, showed that last night on CNN again. He also, we're supposed to be proud of the fact that they restored over 3/4 of the pre-war telephone services and over 2/3 of the potable water production. Oh, isn't that great? How about all the rest? How about the electricity that's out? There are 4,900 full-service telephone connections. They expect 50,000 by year-end. Oh. So knock it all out and then let's put it back together again. Let's let Bechtel and Halliburton and all our other good buddies put it back together again. Humpty Dumpty. David, you're whistling into a dark place, baby, into a...
Rectum.
God, wasting your time. I noticed, by the way, I just caution you on this because I noticed that Miss Fudge is fudging her bets now on the Fudge Report. Instead of red on there, he changed it to black, and now it says U.S. Magazine says, super lawyer Johnny Cochran to take Michael Jackson case. We don't know what magazine that is because Miss Fudge ain't telling us yet, but now U.S. Mag says, et cetera, and so on. See what I'm saying? So I'm just passing that along because sometimes Miss Fudge fudges a little bit here and there. That's what Bill O'Reilly said. And Bill O'Reilly said she ought to be dead. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. 13 minutes away from that big moment, man, when those numbers start coming out. Look who's on CNN right now.
Are they not afforded the same rights as any other human being? I think it is a form of segregation to talk about gay rights or gay marriage or gay anything separate than any other part of the human family. They ought to have the same rights as anyone else in the human family.
You go, Al. There you go. Oh! See, he says all the right things, Al Sharpton. That's the problem. You know what I mean? He says all the right things, but then you look at him and remember one thing that bothers you. He's Al Sharpton. WQAM.
Al Sharpton. That's the problem. You know?
Hello.
He says all the right things, but then you look at him and remember one
Going
thing.
once.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
What's up, Neil?
How you doing, sir?
What's going on, buddy? Don't you love South Florida?
WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello. Yes, sir, it's calls like these today. It's days like these when all the excrement of the human race just comes squirting right through our phones. That's when I love it the most. You can smell it all the way up here. It's a beautiful thing. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. How's that poll coming while these calls are building up to a frenzy? 162 votes. Which of these do you most strongly believe? George W. Bush had advance knowledge of 9/11, 14. Other Bush officials had advance warning, 14. Nobody in government had a clue, 18. Heads ought to roll at the FBI and or CIA for failure to prevent 9/11, 34. And George W. Bush should be impeached for lying to Congress and the public, 50.6%. 82 are saying that right now. WQM, the famous line 9. Hello.
I've never
See? We can tell. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
This is George. How you doing?
Okay,
I love
George.
the show. I listen to George when George is on.
Yeah.
I find it very entertaining. I just want to let you know I am a Christian, but even though I am, I still love listening to you for entertainment.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, it's great. And
Well, why do you tell us that you're a Christian? Is there any special significance to that? I mean,
Well,
you're not going to burn in hell for listening to the show, are you? Because I don't want to do anything that's going to
no,
hurt
it's
your
not
chances. Huh?
It's not that. It's just that you guys seem to be very hard on Christians. You seem very hard on the groups, period, of anybody who seems to believe at all in God.
In fairy tales, yeah, that's right.
I
We're not
understand your
big on
opinion.
fairy tales. We like fairies, but not fairy tales.
I understand that. You have the right to say that. I just enjoy
Right.
the show.
Well, thanks a lot, Pally, and God bless you, and Happy Christmas.
You too. Thank you.
And Happy Kwanzaa and Merry Chanukah and all these other ridiculous things. Hey, listen, it's good for business. It raises a lot of money. Everything is about money. The world is a business, and all the other stuff is just window dressing. Just don't ever forget that. That's the one thing we can all agree on if you got half a brain. Everything is about business. Religion's a big tax-free business. All the holidays are just to generate more business. And, of course, to drink and eat a lot of food, get drunk, all of these things. And maybe get lucky like the Beast hopes he will tonight. But I doubt it. I don't think you're getting any. Don't get your hopes up.
Could happen.
It could happen?
No, it won't happen. It's the first
Now,
date. I'm
this
not
young
like
lady that you met on the internet, is she like one of these like shut-ins, really desperate, that's never,
No.
huh?
No.
Has she ever seen a penis? I'm not talking about a drawing of it. Has she ever actually seen one like live and in person?
I'm sure she has.
You're positive?
I'm positive.
Well, I'm glad she has in the past because 5670560. I don't think there's anything on the horizon for her this evening.
That's the first date, of course not.
WQAM, hello. It's the first date, of course not. Did I really hear correctly? Oh man, what a joke that is.
What?
WQAM, hello.
Gentlemen.
That's not what Clarence told me. QAM.
Hi, man.
It sounds like you, yes.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Go right ahead.
I never had a chance to catch the end of Requiem for a Dream, and I
Yes?
keep missing it anytime it comes on cable.
Yeah.
Without giving up too much of it,
Yeah.
what happens at the end of the movie?
Well, how far did you get?
I got to the part where they committed the mother,
Right.
and I got to the part where
Was Harry in the hospital yet? Did Harry make it with a purple vein in the hospital?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I was watching it one night, and then my son started crying, and I missed the last probably 20 minutes of it.
Well, how old is your son?
He just turned 2 today.
Oh, well, today? Happy birthday, son.
And
I
he
don't
loves
want to ruin it for you. You
He
got to
loves
go
your
out.
drops. He loves your Roy, and he loves your about 30-man drop.
Roy! About 30, man.
Excellent. I don't want to ruin it for you, man. You got to go rent it. It's you got to see it for yourself.
All right, man.
Okay? In fact, show it to your kid. He'll never do drugs if you show him that once.
Hang
Hang in there, Pally. Have a good holiday.
Bye-bye.
This is perfect for these calls today, man. In fact, this last guy, he may have been the best caller of the day. At least one of them, anyway. Sounded like he actually was almost rational. People are under a lot of pressure, man. They got to buy gifts. All the poor Jews, they got to buy a different gift every day for 8 days for Chanukah. A real scam, if I ever heard one. Although at least they buy the gifts wholesale. And then Christmas, of course, you got to buy something really big and stick it under the tree. I love this. Now you've seen the movie, right? Please tell me yes.
No.
Have you seen anything besides hurricane ball games?
Yes.
I doubt it.
I actually just saw a good movie the other night.
What was that?
With Kevin Spacey, he plays a death row inmate who's a philosophy professor.
Does the movie have a name, or is
It's
it
something
just...
about David Gale. I forget the something along the lines of David Gale something or other.
I could just see you and Sarah Goldfarb together in the joint, man. What a match made in heaven.
It's a great tune.
I want to give you a kiss.
Absolutely.
All right.
Miguel hated it because there weren't any Cubans in it. It's a must-see, Requiem for a Dream, one of the great movies of all time. And it's not one of these things where it's like debatable. Miguel's comment was, well, I just don't get it. What's the point? What's the point? 1254 at 560 WQAM. QAM, hello.
Good afternoon, Neil.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yes, just one holiday favor.
Go ahead.
Would you please ask Santa for a new wardrobe?
Very good. Very good. That's the guy who finds some different creative way to get a good shot in there about the fact that I'm a slob. No, I really don't care about my wardrobe, and you shouldn't mind so much either. Okay, pal?
You can ask Mo for some pants.
I can get some checkered pants from
There you
Mo.
go.
Absolutely.
You can probably at least loan them to me for the holidays. Although I don't like that muskrat hair on my pants. It's a pain in the ass to have to brush that off. In fact, every time I'm there, I kind of give Mo the old brush off. 5670560. Hate you, Mo. Hate you like poison. Even during the holidays, there ain't no difference, okay?
Come on.
Nobody's ever letting up on the Mo man.
It's just shtick, isn't it?
No. It's real serious hate. Just like you and him. Hate. You despise him. You wish that something evil and horrendous would happen to his grotesque old ugly ass. You know you do. See, and there's no even denial. There's no, right. You can say it. You're not going to be on his show again. What do you care? Here's the poll result. 177 votes on the poll so far this hour in our second poll. Which of these do you most strongly believe? George W. Bush had advanced knowledge of 9/11, 14. Other Bush officials had advance warning, 16. Just changed again. Nobody in government had a clue, 23. Well, of course you can interpret that different ways. Heads ought to roll at the FBI and or CIA for failure to prevent 9/11, 37. And George W. Bush should be impeached for lying to Congress and the public, 90 out of 182, 49.4%.
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM. Buttheads, it's the 1 to 2 hour.
Anytime they see that we're lagging in the polls, they provide a headline that will lead you by the nose.
Yes.
Who say, they said, is the one to get. Now they have only one big dictator left. Don't worry about Sudan, we got him. Now we're all comfy and safe. We got him. He won't attack us no more. We got him. Praise Bush like Jesus. Who say 9/11 is what they got you to believe. Can't get any dumber than a one-party country. You believe what they say, like the gullible fool, as they use the state for their corporate tool. Held the election off, we got 'em. Bush has got his king, you got 'em. Get down on your knees, you got 'em. Dick Cheney, you got 'em.
101. Look at these initial numbers are coming over. Boy, I can't believe how soon these are coming in. So far they mean nothing. Because these are 12 plus overall the whole week. They mean nothing. But I got some numbers in my hand. I also got a great column here by Martin Lefebvre of The Scoop, which is on our website, but it's not really long. I'm going to read it. It's a beautiful thing. Not as good as these calls we're getting today, but it's fantastic. Number one station in South Florida for September, October, November. Overall, 12 plus, WLYF. Slush. 5.2 share. They're always number one. You want to know why? Because every doctor's office, every dentist's office, every secretary's got life in the background. WCMQ-FM. Oh, this means it's a big trend. WCMQ-FM, a 5. Oh! They're in number two. Number two. And WEDR drops from first to third, 4.9. So it's the spos against the schvos. It's one hell of a battle, man. Now, who's bringing these numbers in, Miguel?
Yep.
Did we ever get our 10 additional bucks, by the way, over there at Chuck's?
Yeah, we now have 400.
All right. We're doing it, man. Slowly but surely, even with Scott Jr. there, which is enough to drive anybody away. So that 400, so that's, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm adding wrong. 48,990. How the hell did I get my math all screwed up? We have 400?
Correct.
We started the day with I think I added Chuck's 100 twice. We have 48,990, so we're still $10 short of 49 grand. Or $1,010 short of 50 grand, which we'll do that this week easy. Well, I feel a lot better now, don't you? Because if we wouldn't have done 50 grand, there would have been a lot of heads rolling that place, Miguel. Anyway, let's see. Who am I looking at? WPO Power. Well, who cares about Power 4th, 12 plus? WAQI Radio Mambi is 5th, 4.7. Radio Amor, hot. Man, Spose says, anybody speak English anymore?
No.
Man. Besides that slush music station, Lifeless. Radio Romancia. WIOD, a 3.3 in a summer book, and they still got, in the first trend, they still got a 3.3. WQM, a 2.9 in the last trend, a 2.9 in this one. So it's not too exciting so far. See what I'm saying? But we got something. There's 12 plus. There's the first, which gives me a golden moment here, a golden shower. To sneak in this article by Martin Lefebvre.
Okay.
No, it's good. It's excellent. It was a hoot to watch the American media salivate over Saddam's capture, acting as though their militarism and chauvinism have suddenly been vindicated. CNN, NBC, CBS, and ABC anchors could barely contain their macabre glee. Wolf Blitzer, a Pentagon favorite leading the blitzkrieg of CNN reporting, could barely contain himself. He delighted in running down the list of Democratic candidates and politicians, jumping on the hooray for President Bush and our brave troops bandwagon. Pandering to the puerile American sensibility, he giddily intoned, Saddam didn't care about anyone. That gets the award for most asinine statement by a major U.S. commentator, Wolf. Lou Dobbs, who can always be counted on to be the most shamelessly jingoistic of CNN's anchors, pontificated about how Iraqis have no sense of gratitude, just a sense of entitlement after all the good and great things America's done for them. Meanwhile, displaying an inability to connect even the most obvious dots of darkness and deadness of this country, Dobbs continued his comedic syncopation by lamenting about how there's a noticeably absent Christmas spirit in many communities around the country. Abandoning all journalistic restraint, he declared that the tyranny of the few, such as the ACLU, is pushing aside America's history, culture, and heritage. Like the behemoth of America itself, he ludicrously lumbered on, might this impact retail sales? Just when you think they've hit rock bottom, they go and dig a new bottom. Yes, Lou, Jesus would certainly agree. We captured the boogeyman, now let's see more sales. President Bush, as the cheerleader of these Dantean forests, would use the same words that 80% of the world will use next November. Good riddance, this world is better off without you. Some questions are beginning to take hold after this defining moment of meaninglessness. After this defining moment of meaninglessness, does Hussein's ignominious end justify America's war of choice? Was it worth thousands of lives and upwards of $150 billion to capture this rat in his hole? Unfortunately, empires are undone not by spilling the blood of their soldiers and other countries' civilians, but by bankrupting their own treasuries in their insatiable quest to maintain and extend their power. Fortunately for humanity, however, George Bush doesn't believe in the federal government, but actually wants to see it bankrupted as a way of shrinking its size. If you think that sounds a tad contradictory, given his belief in the exponential growth of an already obscene military, then you're guilty of reason. In a halfway civilized world, Bush and his henchmen would also go on trial for crimes against humanity. War is never a means to freedom, peace, and democracy. God may have uses for war, but men and women cannot. A principle that will be embodied in the emerging international law that Bush openly scoffs at is this. When quasi-elected leaders of formerly democratic countries invade weak countries ruled by evil tyrants, they become evil tyrants themselves. Finally, there's the question of justice. We will work with the Iraqis to develop a process to try Hussein, spoke the corporate dummy about America's puppet regime. Translation, we caught him, so we'll try him. But we'll use the Iraqis to do it so it doesn't look like victor's justice. The Bushites actually believe they can square executing Hussein with international law when even America's closest said through its UN envoy, we would have no part of a tribunal or a process that had the death penalty as one of its penalties. Hussein's trial will reflect an appeal to the basest instincts in human nature. It'll be sickening to watch, even in small doses, evil trying evil. Martin Lefebvre in The Scoop, good article. It's on our website today. Okay, what do we got here? Good news or bad news? Persons 12 plus, 6 to 10 a.m. These 12 plus numbers mean nothing, but it kills some good time. Radio Amor. I told you it's a SPO and SPO trend, man. Radio Amor is number 1, 5.5. You know anybody listens to Radio Amor?
No.
WHQT Hot is number 2, 5.4. Radio Mambi, no speak it Inglés, 5.2 in the morning, 12 plus. All los old Cubanos. Big, 5.1. Big jump up there. Big. WBGG. The Howard Station. Life. Where the hell is everybody else? WIOD in the morning. 3.8. Where's QAM? I don't find them on the second page. Uh-oh. But again, these are 12-plus numbers. Dropping from a 2.7 to a 2.4. You see that? You know who's going to be upset about that?
Absolutely.
Uh-oh. It probably was Ferrall, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, it was all Ferrall's fault.
But this is only 12-plus. What do we care about that? Small potatoes, okay? These are just some initial numbers to keep the audience, it's like an appetizer. You see what I'm saying? Just a little tease until we get the important numbers in. The only people who care about these numbers are the people in the business. Everybody else, screw off. You know, it's the holidays. Leave us alone. 5670560. Oh, here comes the midday 12-plus numbers. I bet you these are going to be weak. Not our demo, man. 12-plus. We don't care about 90-year-old Greeks. 90-year-old geeks we got plenty of. They're all calling in today. Let's see. Life. Midday. 6.7. Look at that. You can't beat Life, man. It's on, like I said, in all the elevator music. You ever listen to Life?
Never.
Not in your life?
I don't even know what station that is.
I think it's 101.5. Oh, we're pretty flat here. Let's see. 12-plus. Midday, 3.4 to a 3.3. About the same. WIOD, though, midday is 4.3 to a 4.4. That must be the return of Rush.
Oy.
Uh-oh. We got tourists now, baby, with the return of Rush, don't you think? Number one station, 12-plus midday. Life, CMQ FM is second. Love 94 is third with a 4.9. Woo! And Radio Amor, 4.7. Amor. I like rolling that tongue like that. Makes tickles your tonsils. So there comes those. See, until we get through these 12-plus numbers, I don't even know why I have you send these to me. In fact, why did they bring these in even?
I don't know.
Do we care about these?
The afternoon's on its way.
The afternoon 12-plus. Okay, in the meantime, let's take some important calls. Because until we start getting to the men 18-plus and the other demographics, this is so meaningless, it's cruel and unusual punishment to heap this upon our vast audience. WQAM, hello. QAM? Yes, sir.
Neil.
Yes, I am.
I want to talk about the kidney transplant from Alonzo.
Yes,
if you have the money, you can pretty much get anything. Don't you agree?
Yes, that's right. Good point.
And
how many other people do you think are on the list waiting ahead of Zoe?
About 30, man.
Probably 3,000.
And did you hear the Bookster show yesterday, Neil?
No, I did not.
He said the Dolphins need to go to a higher power. I guess he was looking for the great one.
Oh, God.
There you go. In other words, I think what he was trying to say to you, sir, is they haven't got a prayer, is what he was trying to say in a nice way, being the gentile Gentile that he is. Boog's a good guy. I mean, he just don't want to, pile on, you know. Anybody can pile on now. It's easy. Here come those afternoon numbers, 12-plus, baby. Life. They're just demolishing the market, man. Life. They're sucking up the audience. They got a 6 point. Oh! They're number one in the afternoon 12-plus, the demographic that nobody cares about. Power's number 2, WEDR, WMIB, Men in Black with a 5 point. Oh! They're number 4. Ever listen to WMIB?
Yeah, I do actually once in a while.
You listen to it?
Yeah, I like the hip hop.
Yeah, you look like the kind of guy who needs to hop. First you waddle, and then you graduate, then you start hopping. And then you actually walk like a human being, as opposed to shuffling down the hall like a shmoo.
Waddling?
Love 94.44. I'm looking for a station that we ever heard of before. Is there an AM station on this first page? No. Second page in the afternoon. Let's see. WIOD, 3.5 down to a 3.4. Not much of a change. Pretty much flat. Doesn't look like any major changes. QAM, 3.2, 3.2. Flat. So nothing going on there.
You want the big deal finally, or what?
I beg your pardon?
You want the Men 18 Plus Monday through Sunday?
Have you got it?
6 a.m. to midnight?
Yes.
Yeah, number 1.
It's on the way?
Yeah, we're number 1.
We're number 1? Oh! All right. Well, it's about time we got something that meant something instead of all this damn stinking foreplay, for Christ's sakes. We're number 1, the overall. Is that what you tell me?
We're number 1! Damn it!
All right. Excellent. Okay, that's all we care about is getting that bonus money. This is only 2/3 of the book, keep in mind, okay? This is just a trend. Nobody really cares about a trend, but it kills some really important time on this show, number 1. And number 2, the other people who work in the business, who work their asses off, working for peanuts, most of them, they like to find out if they still got a job, man, or if the format's going to change next week. I think we can fairly say that we still got a job. Some of us. Now you're faxing me the nights 12 plus. Jesus, God almighty. Now what is this, September, October, November? Well, there should be, I don't know, because the Marlins, see, 2-4 to a 2-6. There was a little bit of a blip there, because everybody watched the World Series on television, right? Plus, who the hell wants to hear the World Series with Dave Van Boring? Am I right?
Absolutely.
I know you don't want to say anything, because you're like hoping to get either his hairpiece or his wife or both. But you got no chance of getting either one of them. That's what Dave told me. So you got, there you go. We got all the 12 plus numbers, and quite frankly, who's number one tonight? Oh, Radio Mambi, WAQI, all them old Cubanos, man. They're gathered around the radios at Domino Park, and they're going like, incredible. Nah, not like that. You know how they go down there at Domino Park? More like, just like that. That's what they're doing. 113 at 560 WQM. If your hair has gone bye-bye, here's the answer for you. Don't take one of them pasty-looking muskrats, man. They make you look like a clown.
Absolutely.
Go get yourself some real hair. Oh, I ran out of paper. One moment, please, okay? In the fax machine.
All right.
Are you there?
I have mornings, so you want me to wait on that?
No, just let me stick this in there.
Okay.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
I don't know. This is just all very exciting. I don't know what to do with myself.
I could give you a suggestion, but we don't have time for you to find it. Anyway, if you're looking for your hair, if you got a search party and still can't find it, Chuck Alfieri is the guy you want to talk to because Charlie's got the most fantastic technology. He calls it the natural hairline system. And when you finish with his piece, it looks like real hair, like it's really growing out of your scalp, as opposed to like straw, as opposed to like a nasty-looking dead animal on your head, as opposed to holes in the head, all those implants, all those other grotesque things. No dangerous pills to take, just a great-looking head of hair. And you have nothing at all to lose but that shiny, ugly bald spot because everybody gets Charlie's 30-day
About 30, man.
guarantee. After 30 days, if you don't love the way it looks and feels and smells, if you're not getting more action than you ever dreamed you could handle, then Charlie gives you a full refund, no questions asked. And be sure to mention Neil Rogers when you call because it means an extra $200 off your already reasonable price. So if you want to get your hair back and look like a mensch and look younger and better than you ever dreamed again, here's the easy way to do it. Forget everybody else. Call Chuck Alfieri toll-free at 1-800-321-2413. That's 1-800-321-2413 or log on to their prestigious website, charlesalfieri.com.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Number one, damn it!
Pretty depressing numbers, baby, I'll tell you that. This is the end. The beginning of the end.
Miami has the Dolphins, they're the worst football team.
Yes.
They flub the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. They're on the ground, that's where they'll stay. They're never in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking toilet bowl, 'cause they're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number, how many teams in the league?
32.
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Don't bet on them, you'll always lose. They don't know how to tackle. They don't know how to block.
No.
Their coaches ought to tell them to put Ben-Day in their jocks. Then they would run much faster, and even in defeat. When we go to the stadium, we'll see Miami Heat, and they're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number, how many teams in the league?
32.
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. The team that hasn't got a clue. Miami has the Dolphins, but the Dolphins have no fans. Just 50,000 assholes sitting in the stands. They watch the game and all they do is moan and gripe and bitch. I wonder how Joe Robbie got to be so goddamn rich. And they're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number, how many teams in the league?
32.
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. I hear the crowd begin to boo. The Dolphins have Jay Fiedler. That quarterback's a Jew. Run down the field and he will throw a pass over you. He'll never win a Super Bowl. You shouldn't be surprised. When he gets cut, that doesn't mean that he was circumcised. And they're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number. How many teams in the league? 22. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins. Jay calls his signals in Hebrew. The Dolphins have no defense and their offense is a joke. Like George Bush eating pretzels, you know they're gonna choke. They'll always disappoint you when they're in a playoff race, with fewer points than pockmarks on Huizinga's ugly face. And
are you sure?
The Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number, oh what the hell, 32. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, now they're through.
Yes.
Wow, these numbers are just a disaster. This is the master of disaster. And on the face of it, they don't look so bad, you know. Did you stop faxing me, by the way, the afternoons?
We had a bit of an issue. What was the last thing you got?
First page of 3 to 7. I don't really need the rest of them. It's kind of a moot point.
Okay, because I can refax it.
I don't need anything else, as a matter of fact. I got everything I need, so don't waste any more of my fax paper.
Weekends are good.
I beg your pardon?
Weekends were good.
We don't care about the weekend.
Number 2.
Do we really care about the weekend?
No.
That's the least of our concerns. None of it was good. Even though we're number 1 on all 3 day parts, how could you possibly be so negative, Neil? Real easy. Because I extrapolated the monthly numbers, and November was a disaster. Mornings. Well, let's see. Overall, number 1. Or we're not number 1 in the morning in men. Overall, 5.5. WQM is number 1 in men. And 18 plus. WCMQ, this was such a heavy SPO and SHVO trend, man. They couldn't find any white people to speak English. CMQ-FM, all the way up to number 2. What the hell do they play? Music? We have no idea what WCMQ-FM. What is it? Hoochie Coochie?
No idea.
5.2, they're number 2. WAQI, Radio Mambi, a 5 point, number 3. Boy, what's this other stuff you're sending me now? Beast.
That might be nice. I'm not sure. The fact
I don't want nice. How about Persons 2554 would be nice. Something that I want. Middays. We're still number 1 middays, but boy, just barely by well, let's see. Mornings first. Big. Howard Sperm goes way back up again. He's not only still number 1, he goes from a 7.1 in the last trend to an 8.1 for Howie. Radio Mambi, number 2, 5.9. WQAM drops from a 5.2 in men to a 4.7 in the morning. And this is still with Ferrall. Although actually in the month of November, they did better than any of the rest of us. WIOD right on their heels with a 4.6. Middays, WQM number 1 from 10 to 3 with a 6.3. That's down from a 6.7. The individual month November, horrendous, a nightmare. We got a fall book going on that is so bad it's going to be brutal. Tied for second, CMQ-FM and IOD with a 6.2, right on our ass. Do you see that? And men, 18 plus in the afternoon, QAM number 1. Only place we went up, actually, from a 6.3 to a 6.4. Nice going, Mad Dog.
All right.
And nice going, Humper. The load. The load is number 1.
That was funny.
So like I said, it's time for them to carry the load.
You got 25 to 54 now.
Okay. It's time for the afternoon to carry the load, is what I said. I think it's a good idea. Been carrying it on my back for too long, for 6 years, long enough. 5, choking on. You know what I'm doing?
What's that?
I'm eating Hall's Mentholyptus for my throat.
Oh.
And you know after you suck on too much? Gotta wash that down. It starts getting like chalky in there, you know what I mean?
It gets chalky?
So we're number 1, but we're not too happy about it. How do you like that? What did Duff have to say? Did she stick her nose in the door
I
and say,
haven't heard anything yet.
Oh, man, he's got to be moaning and groaning in there. These are a precipitous decline, man. A nightmare. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
QAM.
Yeah, yes, I called a second ago about Alonzo.
WQAM, hello. Sound like he's in a barrel. QAM.
Hi, is this Neil?
Yes, it is.
Hi, yeah. I think that we should impeach that dyslexic, coke-snorting, recovering alcoholic
Okay, we don't do
conservative.
chronic callers on here, okay, ma'am? Go away. Go away. She drives me nuts. We got like about 3 women callers, and it's all the same ones. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. I'd rather have no calls than calls like her. See, you got to be a little bit more selective. Although, what difference does it make now, man? These numbers are like we're on a precipice of a fall. Like you said, you had your psychic premonitions were kicking in again when you said the fall book is going to sound like that. I think you're right. Unless we bail out with a gigantic December, and of course that's already over with a week ago yesterday. It's already a done deal. So the diaries are already in, and our fate is sealed in the hands of this audience, man. Because so far in the fall book, at least in middays, we are like on death's door. The all-time worst. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. In fact, I think it's highly. This could be the first time in 6 years that we don't make the bonus in midday. And you know what? Tough titty. Let's see, persons 25 to 54 for the whole week. Let me take a puke at this. This is so meaningless, the stuff you're sending me now. WIOD dropping from a 3 to a 2.9. They're about flat. Where's QAM? Did we make the cut? Are we anywhere on the sheet? QAM 3.0 to a 2.8. See, all the way around. Here I wasn't I telling you we were dropping off a bad August? We were dropping off a bad August, so if November was decent, we should have done pretty well. Was it decent? No.
No.
It was bad. So, the mighty have fallen. We were all used to be great here on QM, and then they kept screwing the line up and jerking the audience around, and now we're on our way out of business.
It's all your fault.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, it's all your fault.
It's my fault. There's no question about that. If I was there to lead everybody by the nose around, probably could stick everything back on top. Am I coming back?
No.
Not soon.
Because you're out of touch.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, you're out of touch.
Touch this. 26 after 1 at 560 WQM. Hey, touch the phone, man, and call our friends at Dial Mattress and give a great gift idea. You don't have to go shopping, fight the traffic, all the parking hassles. Just pick up the phone and make a gift certificate from Dial Mattress, a great gift idea for some folks you really care about. Call them now at 1-800-MATTRESS and give the gift they'll be thanking you for night in and night out. Dial Mattress has got gift certificates in any denomination, and a new master bedroom bed makes a perfect gift you'll both enjoy for years. At Dial Mattress, no phony promises, no bait and switch, just great discount prices every day on the brand names you know, trust, and love. Now including Stearns, Bananas, Foster. Dial Mattress has got the guaranteed lowest prices anywhere on Stearns and Foster Hewitt. When you call Dial Mattress, 1-800-MATTRESS, you pick the day and time for delivery, any to our windows 7 days a week from 8 in the morning till 10 at night. Believe me, you'll feel the difference. Honest sales practices, fantastic service, everyday low prices, same-day delivery, plus free setup and removal. All these things make it simple to see why Dial Mattress is the best anywheres for customer satisfaction. So for the best service going anywhere, call Dial Mattress toll-free like everybody else at QM is doing. Call 1-800-MATTRESS, 1-800-MATTRES, or check them out online at mattress.com. Happy holidays from the good folks at Dial a Mattress.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The Simple Life is Good TV. Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. No more fashion shows or fancy art. Better get used to shopping down at Walmart. Two rich girls living on a farm. Cows' butts is where they put their arm. Spoiled trust fund chicks won't have any time to make porno flicks.
Big bows, what hoes? No guys, cow pies.
There's hay to bale, don't break a nail. No Macy's one-day sale.
131 at 560 WQM. Boy, this is a death knell, this trend. You know what? This is just, I bet you Duff is hiding under the desk.
He's right here, actually.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Well, it's been nice knowing you. What are we going to do now? After all of these years, got to come up with some other kind of a line of work. Maybe a floor sweeping? Chef in a restaurant spitting the soup?
I'm looking for a new maid at the house.
Yeah. No thanks. This is bad. Can you believe how bad this is?
I just extrapolated and I see what you're talking about.
Ooh.
I see what you mean, man.
We got a 4.4 in men in 18 plus at midday. In the afternoons, I got a 4.9. Even the mornings got a 5 something, a 5.6. Mornings did the best of all. And that wasn't so great. It wasn't bad. And 25.54, I'm looking at this person's 25.54. We fell off the end of the map. 4.0 to a 3.4. That means we did like about a 6.5 in men. So it ain't good, man. We got to pray for a big December. We got to have Santa Claus bring us a big month of December, or we're in the crap. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but the fall book on this station has never been good for me. I don't know what that is. I've always been number one, but it's always like a touch and go. It's always like in the crapper. Plus, this is such a heavy ethnic trend, man. The waiting on this thing is unbelievable. Am I right?
Who knows?
What do you mean? Who knows? Take a puke at it, man. Yes.
It looks a little on the Spanish side.
a little on the Spanish side. Persons 2554 in the morning, Hot 105 went up to a 7-3, number one. Radio Amor is third. Radio Ritmo is fourth. Big is second, that's Howard. I mean, the ethnic thing on this, if you're not either black or Hispanic, you forget about it in this book. Although afternoons, the Mad Dog and the Humper, I told you this, it's all on their big square shoulders now. The Mad Dog and the load, they got to carry the load the rest of the way.
Hey, Neil, all you need is an 8 share for December.
To do what? To do about a 5?
Yeah, no.
You got 2 really crappy months going in there, man. A 4-4? What kind of a number is that?
I had a 6-5 and a 4-4.
Yeah, I know exactly what they are, man. You're not messing with some kind of an amateur here.
No.
And we still have a crap number. We still have a 6-1 with an 8. We still wouldn't even be anywhere near number 1. So listen, like I said, it's been nice knowing you. And now all the pressure. I'm just easing back. I'm easing off. I've been doing this long enough. I'm just going to lay back, do the best I can, get about a 2-3 share, and good luck to everybody. It's all over. All the right-wingers are getting the diaries. All the Rush people can't compete with that because the liberals, who you got for liberals? You got old Jews, right? Do we have any old Jews? No. You got dark folks. Do we have any dark folks listening to the show? No. And that's it. That's why liberals are outnumbered in this country now, because they're strictly a minority and a few fags. Here's a fact, speaking of that says after going to the Dolphin games for almost 20 years now, I couldn't believe my eyes what I've been seeing this year at tailgate parties. Young Julios and young Juliettes have set up their portable domino tables. It seems the spicification in Miami is now complete. What kind of assholes play dominoes? It says, sick of Dolphin football fan in Miami who lives in a trailer park with other asshole gringos. Well, good for you, amigo. If I were you, I'd stay inside a lot. I just wouldn't show my puss too much outside. And haven't I been saying now for the last couple of months, where the hell is everybody? Where is the audience? Where did everybody vanish to? Maybe it's just our audience, because I look on that, and to be honest with you, December I think is even going to be worse. I don't want Duff to have a nervous breakdown, another one. But I'm just telling you right now, I think December is going to be bad. Because I look on that website, I think our people are all gone. They bailed out. They're probably in Mississauga. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. What a shot in the head. I think if George would have been there today, we'd have done okay. I don't want to blame Beast.
I'll take the blame.
Okay, it's your fault. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, hey, you guys have lost your signal in Hollywood completely.
Maybe that's part of the problem. What do you mean by that?
As a matter of fact, we're off the air right now.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. We're off the air, right? You're just getting around to telling me that we're off the air right now?
Well, basically, the signal on the air, the engineers are hard at work right now, but we got a blank signal right now.
See, Josh, I don't want to break the news to you, but there's no such thing as a blank signal. We have a blank signal on the station. We have a weak signal, but it's either you're on the air or off the air. There's no such thing as a blank signal. That's a new one. I haven't quite heard that one before, where you have a blank signal. So how long ago did that happen?
I was just informed, actually. They just walked in, told me.
So in other words, it could happen like a half an hour ago for all we know. Well, it should be good, because then the audience couldn't hear how crappy we did in the book.
Hey, you want to start cursing again?
Yeah, it started with Joe Costello calling me, and then I got more people telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said George Corso's on it right now.
Oh, well, that should take care of it right there. George Corso's on top of it. We should be back on, I'd say, by about 4:55? Just maybe 5:56 in time for the Humper to say, here's Bino?
Now we got the big internet audience still going.
Well, in that case, see, I don't dare say it because I don't know for sure when we're going to pop back on it. With my luck.
You know you want to do it. Please don't.
Oh, I would like to do it, but especially now after seeing these numbers, but I don't really care. It's not at this stage of the game, especially not a day and a half before vacation. Not a good idea. So, what do we do? Should I play some music? Should we put on Requiem for a Dream again? Should we whistle Dixie? Should we say, boy, the numbers really suck?
Let's hear some Lawrence Welk, and I'll go check on it.
Put the Playboy channel on.
No, that's an even worse idea. I'll just put CNN. I'll put Pulse News on here, okay? And you can hear the Toronto weather for Castronova.
You know, what was this cable? 67 kilometers an hour, wind chill of -9, humidity 67%, and the pressure is 100.3 kilopascals and rising. So expect today, tomorrow, and Saturday to be quite cold and then warming up a little bit for...
I beg your pardon?
Huh? What's a kilopascal?
Yeah, what's a kilopascal? Back inside to the news.
None of your business.
Thanks.
I mean, looks like
It's a Canadian thing, eh?
Santa might have some rain for his journey on Christmas Eve. Who knows? Well, that is this edition of City Pulse at noon. Be sure to join Gordon and for Toronto's news on City Pulse at 6.
And right now, it's time to hear from you live on City Online. I've got that coming up next. Stick around.
Welcome to City Online. Thanks for sticking around. Well, it's supposed to be the most wonderful time of the year, but many of us get stressed out during the holiday season. Give us a call at 416-870-7716 or 1-800-295-5463 with your questions on coping with stress.
Is it the raining or anything there? Is it like the end of the world, or?
It's cold out.
Maybe a pigeon dropped a load or something. That's why we went off the air.
Well, I hear that there's a, if like one of those little lizards gets in there and, you heard the lizard story, didn't you?
No.
Yeah, I'm in the STL. Beast is laughing. This actually happened.
I believe it. Anything is possible with that equipment.
How could you possibly laugh at me?
So in other words, the lizard chewed up the string in between the two tin cans. Is that it?
He started chewing on the string. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Where are you working next week, Beast? Jeez.
Well, these numbers are just appalling. These are horrendous.
Well, the internet audience is getting in on the. This is like a private phone call.
It's
So,
okay.
Neil, what did you think of the trend?
They sucked. They were pure, unadulterated Schmidt. Well, speaking of that, how did they do in the afternoon? The 4950, a flat, third. Doesn't make an awful lot of sense. I beg your pardon?
Want to open up something in your mail?
Go right ahead.
Fan mail?
Go ahead.
How about
Probably some
Catholics
good-
United for Life?
Mm-hmm. Boy, this is just gruesome. Because we were dropping off a horrendous August, so I thought we had to go up. Little did I realize.
No.
Making August look sensational by comparison. Well, see, this is part of the problem, too, when you get into this really partisan thing. It's like an election year, but it's not. You know what I mean? Because of the war thing going on. If you look back at 2000, in the fall of 2000 with the election thing, it took a giant hit there, too, because if people that don't agree with you don't get the diaries, they won't put you down. So it makes me think, let's not talk about politics anymore.
Oh!
All right, let's sell out. Let's sell out to the right wing. Not. Can't do it. Can't do it. If we work it down to a 0.3, it's still too bad. In fact, it sounds good for a buyout. 50 cents on the dollar sounds okay.
Making those choices in terms of how am I going to spend my time and what's most important to me.
Right.
Because all of us feel we don't have it.
I want you to pretend you're fucking me in my ass.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Yourself are sweating right now.
Who has their hand on the dump button?
You maybe arch your butt.
Did you push it?
Okay, let's wait for the people to walk by. Okay. Make a face like, ugh, like you're coming. Ugh. Coming! Wanna fuck my pussy then instead?
Is that gonna be you tonight, Beast?
Pretend this is my penis. Okay. And you're...
Yeah, that's what the beast is going to say. Pretend that this is my penis.
We go doggy style. Like, if you bend over like doggy style on the floor, that would maybe be a good pose, okay?
Wow.
Doggy style with candle drip.
I have a confession. I'm not just modeling at the store. I actually also model for Playboy TV. Cameras in the and then there's the cameras right there, and there's a camera over here.
I love eating nuts.
I was totally busted on Playboy TV.
I'm totally busted on Playboy TV.
Yeah! Yeehaw!
You've got no good mail.
Great. Well, we don't have any audience left. How could we have any mail? So what's the deal here? This is like Ferrall's debut that day. This is like same crap all over again.
This is his revenge right now, I think.
Is that it? Ferrall's revenge?
Yeah.
He flew back from Chicago to...
And boy, are his arms tired.
Well, I got news for you. He couldn't have had that big of a month because if he would have had, Howard's sperm wouldn't have gone way up like that. Because that's where you get the indication. So it must have been Mo. Mo must have had the number in the morning.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which is would be a good reason why I wouldn't get anything and why afternoons got some. Mostly probably Mad Dog.
That's it. That's it, I'm sure.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when Mo gets his people on there, the rest of us are going to get screwed. We're taking it up the ass when Mo gets his diaries. How the hell can that be possible? I mean, when you look at the stats on our website, and the weekend after Ferrall got canned, it's like somebody turned the switch off, like we are right now. Like dropped about 40% on the hits on our website every day.
Hasn't returned at all?
Yeah, it's come back some, but not great. Still way down. And I thought that a lot of people were out of town for the holidays or something, because George kept telling me, oh, there's no traffic, there's nobody here.
Hey, you know Billy Frederick?
Who?
Billy Frederick?
No.
Oh, well, you send a check here for a Ben and Pet Rescue, $100.
All right. Nice going, Billy.
To Neil and George, greetings from somewhere in Amsterdam. Damrak?
Damrak, right.
He's wearing a QAM shirt there.
$49,990. That means if we have another $10, we're over $50,000 today. It's pretty good.
He sent them in Gelders.
In Geldy?
Yeah.
You sent them to Geldy?
Are these the stats where you fell?
$49,990.
Good thing I'm going through your mail. That's my money. They should send cash.
Right. Number 8 is formal event.
Hope I don't get
Formal
finger.
event going out for the Schumann Barn.
Duff got his finger on.
1 minute. Maybe you could put some Vivid double feature on while you're at it.
Okay.
And alone. I'm definitely feeling a little freaked out. Maybe.
Even my father says you can't help him. I'll not let you go. I'll not.
The trip listening to the Playboy channel. I usually hear it in mute.
Please, Davy.
How do you hear it in mute?
Oh, look at this. Sounding good on the internet in Jupiter. Maybe now Joe Rose, what is it? Now with Joe Rose, you'll have a good lead in, it says. Oh.
Huh.
Ain't that interesting? Hey, hi to Jupiter on the internet. A couple of holiday seasons ago, you played a bit Hank the Hammer Goldberg singing the 12 Days of Christmas. Never heard of it. Says I almost messed my britches last night. I never heard of that. Hank the Hammer Goldberg, the 12 Days of Christmas?
I don't know about that.
No such thing. So anybody listening on the internet, we're all done here at QM. Next week we're going back to country and western music. Going to get some of that Schmidt kicking music on there for you.
Maybe we can get Chris and Boog back.
Some Toby Keith.
Toby Keith and the Chris and Boogster show.
Maybe we can have C.J. Silas on
A
there.
grotesque trend. This could be one of the all-time worst months ever.
So the church sent you a Christmas card.
Who did?
Happy holidays. The Catholics United for Life.
Oh, great. Well, to them, okay? Screw them. Tell them cocksachois.
I can't even imagine what Mo's going to say tomorrow. Oh, Neil's done. All that stuff.
I don't really give a crap what Mo says. How do you like
He's not
that?
listening.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's.
I'm listening.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody named Marilyn sent you a CD here.
I got something for you, Mo.
All the crap you can unwrap.
Right, with a big bow on it.
Marilyn Schaefer sent you
What the Beast left after his ice cream feast the other night.
Oh, don't remind me.
A feast from the Beast
Oh,
for the Mo to munch on.
just the bloating and cramps and.
Yep, you got it. That night I ate those Atkins bars, I thought, oh my God, this is never going to stop. I went to bed and it still was, the hits just kept on coming. Making a mad dash into there.
Josh,
well, I'm going to have my
updates?
celebratory lunch. What is
Any
it?
updates, Josh? No. No updates.
Nah, come on, you think we're going to be back on this quick? This is probably a multi-hour thing. Probably the government has knocked us off the air for not goose-stepping into the party line.
Duff would neither confirm nor deny the multi-hour comment.
Yeah, but he's hoping.
He recommends we play tunes.
It doesn't really make much difference because we're not in ratings anyway, so,
That's
we
true.
don't really care. We're not in ratings now, and we don't have any. Plus, we got all the live spots on. We got a few. Most of the spots that are left were trades anyway. 1, 2, 3. 3 of the last 6 spots were trades, so.
So when's the next book come out?
In a month. In January. About January 15th, somewhere around there.
Take it we won't be getting any money.
Don't look like no bonus money for us. No,
It's
for
okay.
anybody.
I don't get a bonus anyways, since I still get paid hourly.
Looks really grim. And the thing that's bizarre is we had this great September. I mean, sensational. Then all of a sudden October.
But I think that September was all a lot of Marlins.
No, that was October.
That was October.
I'm talking about me. I had a gigantic September after I came back from the summer thing.
Yeah, your 4-4 pretty much sucks.
No kidding. No shit.
Dumbass.
Do you know what your lowest book ever was? Like not trend, but the actual book.
In this market?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I have no idea. In KAT, we used to, back in those days, they only had like Dade and Broward books were separate. So KAT had no Broward audience, so it was like, we get like a 3, 12 plus. I mean, our audience was all over the age of 100.
Hello.
I don't know. I don't know, and I really don't care. I've given up caring at this point.
Just take the money and run.
Take the money and run. What difference does it make? 1 share, 95 share, what the hell difference does it make? Plus, I think what's going on right now is appropriate. I think it's the death of QAM. Can you smell it? I can smell it all the way up here. Put on the CBC for the people on the internet.
I don't even know if we're still on the internet.
No, it's crap.
Doesn't taste awful because...
How about the BBC? Oh, they're
It
doing
was too late.
that silly Brit
Whether that
sport.
defence is enough to save him from a lengthy ban is being argued over by the Football Association, his club, and his union.
You just worry with what?
They're giving Jacko back his passport.
Yeah, I know. We already had that on at right at 10 o'clock. I know you're busy doing Doreen, but we already had that news on.
Must be a long distance thing.
And Johnny Cochran, I wonder if Miss Fudge has got any update on that story. I like the way he kind of hedged his bets on that. Now it still says U.S. Mag, super lawyer Johnny Cochran to take over Michael Jackson case.
Put this in cute.
Press conference at 4, charges to be filed. Did Scott ever call back in? No. All we need is another $10 for $50,000.
He might not even know we're off the air.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's probably listening to Magic.
Yeah, press play.
Well, I guess I can put my CDs away, huh? By the way, if anybody listening on the internet, all 20 of you wonder if what we say is true about Screw Ann, yeah, she's a bitch, smelly bitch. Yeah, I think when you look at these numbers, man, on the stats page, you can see the day that it ended. The day that Ferrall got canned, that was the end of QAM. We had made this big jump back. You saw it in September. Had these gigantic...
Well, I don't need to tell you how many people in the streets told me they won't listen until they bring him back.
You really?
Oh, a ton of people.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how come you're just telling me this now?
Well,
that makes a lot of sense to me. I think, why not punish Neil because they fired Ferrall? I had a lot to do with it. That's great.
well, you know it's always your fault.
Yeah.
I want to make some T-shirts that say that.
On November 13, he got canned on November 12th. So the last week, The last week of the, let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Would that have been right? Wait a minute. The 19th to the 26th to the 3rd, the 10th.
All right,
1, 2, 3.
I told you. Play it on your date tonight.
No, it couldn't possibly, because he got canned on November 12th.
Right.
And the next day, we had, not record-breaking, but close to gigantic response on our website because we had the polls about him getting fired and everything.
Right.
And then the next day, also big because we were still talking about it. And then after that, starting with that weekend, and it started dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping really bad. And then, like in the last week, it started coming back. But boy, it's been ugly, really ugly.
Well,
the
thing with Ferrall is, I'd get people come up to me all the time and say, "Oh, I hate that guy with the bad voice." But did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
So
But you can't keep jerking the audience around. I mean, we got a different goddamn format on every freaking 5 minutes. Every time you turn around, we got a different one doing 8 to 10. We got me on at one time, and on another time we got Mo sticking early in the morning, and it's a joke.
By the way, I mean, obviously this is not coming off the mount with the tablets, but I mean, after a while, if you're any normal, average human being, you just can't take any more Fiedler or Wanstedt.
Right.
I mean, I can't do it.
Well, so what does that have to do with me, though?
No, I'm just saying.
Why would that affect my audience? And if that's the case, how come the afternoons are still? Although they had a bad November too, but how come they've got that big number in there?
I think a lot.
Well, Hammer will always be Hammer and get his numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by that. He had some really crappy trends several months in a row.
Yeah, but as much as people out there complaining, oh, he hung up on me, he's an asshole, I'm never going to talk to him again, and I hear that all the time, but they keep calling, they keep listening. The only complaints from you I get from people are from women.
Well, fuck them. Oh, excuse me.
Well, if they look good.
Yeah. Sorry, you people on the internet, you finally got one.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't think we're on the internet anymore.
You what?
I don't think we're on the internet anymore.
Why not? Why would we be off of there? If there's anybody listening on the internet, fax real quick, because we're going away anyway. Soon. Not soon enough. Yeah, 3 to 7 took off in July. I really don't know why. June is when we went back to this different schedule, and it was Mad Dog and Hank, so Mad Dog certainly helped a lot. But that seems to be the combo that's kicking ass. Let me write this in. 4-4. Woo!
Nice job.
Too bad. Tough titty.
Just for that, we should put on George all next week.
There you go.
There it is, the rating savior.
George will bring him back. He'll bring those young demos back, man.
We're on now?
We are on?
Yeah, we're on the internet. Eric just called and said.
Oh, we're on the internet.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's great, Eric. If you only had a few diaries, man, you could lie and tell me you live in Hollywood. Not that we would do that, but we sure need it. We need something. Anyway, let me just put on City Pulse, and I can see when I can get my ass up out of the chair and leave, and turn the lights out in here, and go make some of my Chinese takeout.
Get some new clothes.
Yeah, get some new clothes. I think that's it. That's the pull for tomorrow.
Sure, wardrobe, that's it.
That is the pull for tomorrow. That's one of the choices on there. Why? Let's see. Let me write the poll. Why do you think Neil's audience is disappearing? A lot of good choices.
They're moving to Toronto.
Right.
You're out of touch, man.
I'm out of touch. Although September I was up here the whole month and I had an 8 year. Let's see. He's out of touch.
He's too liberal.
Too liberal. Wait a minute. He's out of touch in Toronto. He's too liberal.
Too old.
Too old. He needs a new wardrobe.
Yeah, that's what I'm voting.
Well, that goes without saying.
How about a haircut? Do you need a haircut?
No, I just got one. Not a nice haircut. He needs a new wardrobe. As nice as I can get. New wardrobe.
You need to get some Tommy Hilfiger and some CK.
Hilfiger.
Right. I don't wear fat
some
clothes.
Some Xenia, Brioni, Canali.
Xenia and Dania.
That's another thing.
Is that
What's
your
that?
regular
The
wear?
Peter. What's that fashion? The Peter Kent.
Right. What about him?
No, he just missays one of the things in there.
Well, how about that spot for Capriccios? Who is that does that spot? Is it somebody from one of the FMs?
Which spot?
Oh, that's the most horrible spot. He mispronounces every Italian word on there, and I just cringe through that whole spot. It just drives me nuts. Spaghetti bolognese, and he's trying so hard to sound so Italian. It's like a little twerp. God, I hate that spot. Is that a paid spot? Like I said, it's a great restaurant, all you people on the internet.
We had our Christmas party there.
Oh, like I said, we love them a lot because they're pretty upset with us. Not with me, though. Let's see. He's out of touch in Toronto. He's too liberal. He's too old. He needs a new wardrobe. What else? Oh, the Ferrall thing.
Wait, just to let everyone on the internet know, we will have a sports update at 2.
Special on the internet?
Special internet sports update.
We're pissed that Ferrall got fired. As if, and then in parentheses, it's Neil's fault. Must be.
We might have something.
We might have what?
Actual air.
We're on the air?
Oh, yeah, we're on the air right now.
We're on the air right now.
Scott says
he can hear just after the B said, like that. Now, what are you getting all emotional about?
No, Scott called, said he could hear us.
Well, if Scott can hear us, we must be on air. Was that back when the B said the F word a couple of times? That's good. Anyway, we apologize profusely for being off the air for like a long extended period of time, but I think it's ominous. I think what it has to do with when we saw these ratings that came out is all like a death knell. It's the death of QAM as we once knew it, Anyway, one good thing is, though, we're up to $49,990 for abandoned pet rescue. And all we need is another $10. Did Scott get any more over there, or is he laying back?
Yeah, I don't think he got any more.
Well, I'm sure Scott will be more than happy to put the $10 in to put us over $50,000, and if not, we won't see him no more. Anyway, it's been a real treat, especially the last 20 or 25 minutes. The Bowmeister is coming up next.
Bye. The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
There's nothing like a talk show host holding a big black dildo while you're trying to do an update.
Absolutely.